Yeah, you guys should get going on the setting up of the private match. So open a private match, send the code to Icicle, and let's get going.
Oh, what's this? A wisdom deck from Fox Gang? Why, these are real shenanigans, aren't they?
Okay, I am going to switch over to the screen share. So now we're just going to be waiting for Icicle to join the match.
$420,069. Icicle, you clown.
Well, what was it?
It was 420,069. And we are good for game one. Ooh boy, I am excited. Wait, we are, right? Yeah? We look. Finding opponent. Here we go. Mesosaurus Rex versus Icicle. Y'all place your bets now. I think she wants us to see something. Angelo? Yeah, Angelo. That is a card. You really do have Angelo, though.
Okay. Someone should start up. I said someone needs to start up Angelo Gang.
But don't give her any ideas. I kind of need my members.
Angel Gang.
Hey, is the thing frozen for you guys?
Yeah, it's kind of stuck for me. By exiting in and out. It's loading now.
Yeah, it seems frozen for me too.
Huh, well this is a bit of an issue. Intermission. So anyway, I find it funny that like you were mentioning like Agi Wiz earlier on the leaderboard. Because like Mythosaurus was like actively like, hey, I need to hide this deck. Like she's like, I don't want people to see this deck. I'm like, yeah, we'll keep it on the DL, you know. According to Mythosaurus, her internet died. Okay, I gotta say, we didn't plan for that one.
Perhaps Fox Gang could put forward an alternate first user, and then Dog Gang could counterpick against it.
Yeah,
again,
I think that would be a good idea.
Save Mythosaurus for later. She can play at a later time.
Misora says it's back now, so maybe we should just keep going with this.
Oh wait, no, she said it. Wait, she said it's back.
Was it in the last tournament where was it Just Dad Bacon whose internet dropped repeatedly during a game and they still managed to win?
That was that was Swap.
Or was it Spungo?
I never knew if they captured, but my internet is just generally awful.
Someone managed to like repeatedly miss 2 turns using like Entwale Strength Wisdom and then still win. They managed to like AF 2 turns
like
due to
Icicle.
Maybe. I don't know who it was. It was very impressive. So I was like, worried. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna lose now because of this, but they managed to win anyways. It was crazy. They were just so far ahead that they like it was all part of the presentation to make things look dicey and then win anyways, just for the extra. It was extended BM.
Just to flex.
In the other turn.
completely like meme on your opponent by purposely turning off your Wi-Fi router in the middle of the game and then waiting for it to reboot and then still win. Just to assert dominance. That's what the pro players do. Like that's what makes us. That what sets us above the rest is that like we have the ability to just completely shut down all internet access and still win. It's part of our rigorous training we do. You
Okay,
see.
I see Misaurus back in the chat.
An interesting option for tournament games actually could be the option to like, or for private games could be the option to pause the timer if someone disconnects, so that way. I think other games like Hearthstone have something like that. So if there's an internet emergency,
All right, we have a game going. Not to interrupt, but
Yeah, here we go. You can see that beautiful sunrise. Agi Wiz Mirror. Here we go.
all
Oh
right.
boy.
Right off the bat.
looks like Mrs. didn't keep the deck well enough under wraps. I guess someone's come with the counter.
Yeah, it's a mirror match.
This is interesting.
And Mrs. showing off the deck.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of
Looks like a
sort of mid-range removal focused deck. Is it a combo deck? Is it banner combo? I can't see if. Yeah, there's
some kind
honk.
of combo. I guess Giza wants.
We'll just say it's
Duel
got
or
some
Cloud.
sauce.
It's banner. Yeah, it's banner combo. By the looks of it,
Yep.
she's got honk in there.
Yeah.
Although she's actually opted for no mountain lion here, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of
Yeah, that's
interesting.
strange. If it's OTK.
Maybe it's just mulligan. Like maybe honk's just in there for the removal, and it's actually just mulligan tempo or something.
But I actually see a lot of decks just running banner, not OTK, but just constant banner hidden face.
Well, the cool thing about banner is that once you like start stacking it, it scales incredibly well. Like going from 1 to 2 is obviously pretty good, but 2 to 3 is freaking massive because you start hitting a very wide proportion of the units in the metagame. The average health of most units that you tend to see in like the early rounds, they tend to be like not much greater than 3. You can see that just in her hand right here, and also looking at like literally half the units in her deck. Like you don't typically get much greater than 3. So if you can just muster 2 banner in a turn, you can remove almost anything.
I'm like super
Looks like-
interested to see what that does.
Yeah, looks like Icicle is going to float that first round. Looks a little
Strike like a
frozen
butterfly.
there again.
Like a bee.
Is it frozen for anyone else? I can't see.
Yeah, it's frozen
Yeah.
on my end.
Clipped
Stuck
out.
in the red.
We're going to come back and it'll be at like 20 health and we'll be going, what the hell just happened? Or, I'm sorry, let me speak my proper Texan. What incarnation? Yeah, there we go.
All right, so he did do nothing, and then Further comes down.
Ooh, Eradicate is an amazing card to top deck. Or not
Yeah.
really top deck, but like, just get so
Perfect for your
suddenly.
situation.
Of course, Giza also offers the removal at the cost of the zap. But then you're also facing another 2 points of damage. Perhaps she wants to hold on to that Eradicate later for a higher priority target. Which could make sense. Eradicate.
Do you have your
incredibly
eyes
useful.
on cube culture?
Yeah.
I have thought of it. Cube has a bit of a lopsided stat line, but I think that the community a bunch of community members and even team members would be crushed if we did anything to Cube Junior.
I just feel like
It's a
the
necessary evil
barrier
for
is
aggro.
a little too strong.
Yeah, Junior is definitely a very powerful card, but I've toned back a fair number of agility threats. Junior is really good because of how unique its ability to grant lifesteal to the hero is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, it is immeasurably
sense.
useful for an aggro mirror.
Yeah, Maybe I could
It's
see like
frozen here
switching
again.
Junior. I could see doing something weird like switching Junior's stealth for lifesteal or something to make her match her effect a little better. That could be something interesting to make her easier to clean up with like units or stuff like that.
Yeah. At the same time, you compare Junior to something like Imposter, and they have like kind of similar like feels, but they do incredibly different things. That stealth barrier combination keeps cropping back up on cards, and it's always like interesting to look at because if like you're behind on board, it doesn't really do much for you as most units. But as soon as you get on board, it's those stealth barrier units that can really steamroll a game.
Yeah, barrier's a pretty cool enchant. I like.
Black screen now. Hope we're still up.
Let's tad bit of an issue.
Line though, just as the final word, that Junior is a little bit above curve for what she is, but I don't mind her too much. Not
Okay.
a bad card. Could see tweaking her a bit though. It has come to mind a few times. I don't think she's even like a super ubiquitous card in the way that like Lao Sensei was, where he was in like literally every deck.
Yeah.
Every
I feel like
deck.
most Aggie Jacks run Cube Junior.
It's quite possible.
GoodDog, you want to check the chat?
Yeah. I'm gonna put that back up, and then we're gonna see if DZ'd again. I'm gonna play on my phone, but I can't screen share. Okay. So I think she's gonna
Can we
need
message
to
Icicle?
Yeah.
Trying to switch between computer and phone mid-game it used to cause problems.
I'm guessing they're still playing.
Can we get Icicle maybe to give his stream?
Yeah, I'm
Can we reach out to Icicle and grab from him?
trying.
Here, I'm messaging the chat right now. Okay.
Okay. No screen sharing from Icicle apparently. So let's see.
What?
No, he won't be able to screen share right now. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait this out and hear how it goes. It does shows one of the very, very big weaknesses of the screen sharing method, which is again another inclination to the spectator mode going.
Yeah.
Okay, Icicle says they're restarting the match, so I'm assuming that the match itself broke. I would say from the DPG side of things, it's fine for me if we restart. Didn't look like anybody had the upper hand.
I'm good with it. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and Icicle says it's fine with him too, because he DC'd several times. So there's. All right. So let me just see here. Icicle can share.
Perhaps my bad internet is somehow contaminating other people's through the stream.
I really hope it doesn't work like that, because I also do not have the greatest internet. It's good enough, I think, like I can talk and be a part of a stream, and like do that. The things happen, like all the issues, whenever there's too many things at once, and I don't think I'm at that point. I hope not. It's like there's nobody else
I would
here
assume
on
that
the
my
internet
is the important thing here. Unless we're, getting the screen share, then it's the person sharing we're relying on. Let me just see. Icicle's writing me now. Okay, Icicle's gonna go ahead and try and screen share.
Yeah, all in all, though, I gotta say that like killing the Cube Junior there was definitely what would have liked to have happened. But if there was some play where we could have gone face even more, that would have been satisfying. Not really for like strategic reasons, just like seeing face and going face. It's always fun to watch the health go down. Like even if you lose, at least you went face.
All right, welcome Icicle. Please mute and deafen. And then screen share.
Yeah. So now we're going to get to... There's actually kind of a silver lining to this, because now we're going to basically know both combatants' decks from the start.
Yeah.
I wonder if Icicle has brought the fabled Wartlock deck with no units in it except Wartlock.
Yeah, I suggested it was called WTF lock.
Yeah, that would be an accurate description.
I like the whole idea of putting the Wartlock in is just to confuse people. Like, what's he trying to do?
I had one game, I was playing Shapungo, this was like a few days ago, where he like turned to Mana Flask a Wartlock, and it pulled Undragon from his deck, and as Wartlock does, it like pulls a unit from your deck and then immediately kills it. I'm like, yeah, that's not great, because like now he's got like a 3/3 lifesteal, he's got the zombies, he's got the dead weight. But like I think I remember like had a board clear or something. I think it was just like Claw Swipe or whatever, I don't remember. And then the freaking turn 3, he just like reses Undragon with freaking Glacial Tomb, and I'm like, huh.
Oh, you're playing
Well, that's
Spungo?
interesting. Yeah, I was playing Pungo.
Yeah.
Freaking pulled his Undragon out of the grave, and then kind of just beat my face in with it a couple times.
Yeah.
I think I still won somehow. I'm not sure.
A lot of the time, it's those shenanigans are effective if there's no answer. But if there is an answer, then you kind of set up the whole deck to make that happen, and then
Yeah, you have to win on that combo.
You kind of do, yeah. I did the same thing with Sick Burn, Cryogen out, and then Sacrificial Pact it back in.
Yeah, your twists and turns.
No, not actually. The one that's similar to the tournament deck, the one that I'm running at the moment, is Cryogen and Shell Officer.
Ooh, this is a dirty hand here. Okay, Icicle has got several options.
Yeah.
Whisk Away, dumb as it is, removes Giza without like... He doesn't get the draw benefit from it. He does get the banner and zap back later. Eradicate, dust it, which is probably a more lasting option. Or he could be really aggressive here. Yeah, because like that's a 4-cost 6/6. It's just going the like.
And I mean, leaving the
Giza what's the answer here?
One banner,
yeah,
So this is why Mango is 2000 arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually a face play coming from Dog Pound Game.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody in the chat is asking, because like 2-minute delay. First off, I might be converting Shapungo. Shapungo, Fox Gang is welcome to everybody. Unlike the elitist Dog Pound Gang that only has high-level players. You guys are sick. But also, the game plan with just Wartlock, it's just Wartlock. You just play Wartlock and you see what you get. That's about it.
I think Incinerate is another one of those removals that are not played that much, but is actually very effective.
Oh my, Incinerate is so good. The other day, I was making some joke in the chat about like, even Wisdom has good fire cards. Wisdom right now probably has the best fire targets for like Trailblazer or Hot Doge. Because it's got like Incinerate, then it has Burn to Crisp just sitting right there, sweet removal.
Doesn't
Ooh,
really have
now.
an answer for that sloth right now.
Torch.
Ooh. No, not really. He is holding Mamba, though, which if that gets set up, that card becomes very scary very fast.
Yeah, I think the play is to ignore the sloth and then go for Eradicate next round.
Happened to the stream again.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait,
Probably
he was just
also
very
get
still for a
backstab.
long period of time.
Probably also get backstab out of hand to start getting the blitz going. Because if he has put together, this is a combo deck. Oh, yeah, that does answer. But as soon as he realizes that he's playing against a combo deck, I suspect that he's going to start turning up the tempo fast. The only question is if he figures that out fast enough.
But you do realize that this is Dog Pound Gang running an aggro deck, and
Yeah, it is,
Fox
and I
Gang
appreciate
doing,
it.
combo.
Okay,
The deny.
real talk, we
Flipping
thought
it.
you guys were going to come out with something like wacky, like game one. So we're like, we'll just send out the combo deck and then just like blindside them before we get counterpicked. But yeah, it would appear you guys had like a inverse of our plans.
It's still
Imposter
very
Mamba
open, the game.
looks like the play here. Oh yes, quite. Well, I feel like if we're just looking at this in terms of the longer the game goes, who's more likely to win, I've got to give it to Mesosaurus just because, well, it's a combo deck.
Yeah, it seems
Aggro
like
always has the
she
issue
will...
of they have to win before they run out of their threats.
Right.
I don't know though. Mesosaurus has lost a good amount of her combo enablers. She's lost Tragic Poet. She's lost Cloud both without being activated and both being dusted, so she can't even recur them somehow if she could. So I do think that
depends on if
that
Guru
she's
is
got
enough for her to get the combo off.
Yeah, it also depends on if she can answer this Mamba play here. Because that 6 health, that's not coming back.
No.
If it is, it's going to be a lot to get
spend
it.
a lot of removal.
Same time, Icicle's also got that Blitz in hand. Next turn, depending on what he draws, he could empty his hand and go +3 with Blitz. Perhaps now it would have been wiser to hold on to the Incinerate, but I don't know what the answer would have been had she not. Ooh, dang.
That's a solid draw. He can go throw
he can
all the cards
empty
and
the
move
hand.
splits. Yeah, that's the play. For sure, that's the play.
Hand. Ooh, no. Ooh, no, that's not good. Wait, but he can't. He can't catch and eradicate at the same time.
True.
Unless he targets his own Nefertiti. Now that would be big brain.
Usually, I wouldn't do the cleanse on the Fate, but with Mamba, Mamba actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's not too bad with Mamba. He may play Fly Guy and Eradicate and then Blitz anyways, because that is still +3.
It's still worth it
in a way.
Well, it's plus.
Blitz is an amazing card.
It's like +2, I think, or +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it'd be
give up
+2
to draw 3 cards, so technically it's +1. You give up the Blitz and 1 card in hand.
Looking pretty good for Icicle
Pulls Major,
now,
can't do math. Yeah, this is a much more dominating position for Icicle.
She needs to answer that Mamba. Yeah, that's
Guru
probably not
combo's
fast
coming
enough.
out.
It's got to be something really cheap now for her to actually
Yeah.
answer.
Gonna have to get something big. Oh no. Oh no.
It needs 2 damage. Yeah, that's the 2 damage it needs. Yeah.
That's a fair bit more than 2.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's why he was cleansing his Mamba. He was trying to dig out his dark unit.
That was actually changed. That was a big part of the Rave change, actually, that sold me on it, was because it doesn't matter whether you Rave or attack first now with Poet, because the banner on the spell and the banner on the unit will be the same. Very good play there.
All right, good start for the Dog Pound Gang. So we wait for the Fox Gang to choose a new counter for Icicle.
I just accidentally spoiled it in my announcements chat. Meant to send that to the super secret Fox chat that y'all don't have access to. Sorry, don't check your pings.
All right, there we go.
It's very cool to see Iris hitting the ground running. Iris is a very funny hero. She's got some really cool mixture of aggro and control.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She almost makes me want to play Wisdom.
She's a combination of speed and caution that's very unique and interesting.
Yeah.
Have you never played a wisdom deck?
Okay, I did. And that was when we got the Control Summer, because I was the guy who started playing, like, Giza and Libra and Albane, and I had, like, Grave Royal and Prismata in the same deck, with the old Avatar of Light that just healed you for, like, all of the health.
You made the
And
summer
then-
miserable for everybody.
Yes, and you know why I did it? Because none of you take me seriously about aggro rights. We need... I'll just play Control, and I'll just heal up to 50, and then we'll see what the tournament ladder says. Yeah.
I like how
And you know what
the
happened?
mic
It got
went
nerfed.
out there, so it sounded like I muted you when you went off on aggro rights.
Aw.
The real aggro rights was the one attack on the hero along the way.
All right, so
Maybe the
it's,
real aggro rights was the foxes we found along the way. I'm still waiting for Fox King to respond.
You should have played. Well, I told you yesterday. I told you yesterday that what I was doing. And I showed it to you already. So, all three things that you need are in the divine combination.
Whose person is that?
That's me. I was just about to ask, can you hear people murmuring in the background?
So Fox Gang, just let me know whoever you want to counter with, and I will. I think
Yeah, we are discussing.
I'd say the quality was decent with Icicle. Maybe we should just go with a safe bet and go with screen share from him again.
Yeah. I mean, it's more important that it works than anything else.
I just got a question from the Dog Pound Gang if they're not allowed to talk in between them, and of course you're allowed to talk as a group all the time, but you're not allowed to talk to the person playing, even though there's a 2-minute delay, just to make sure there's no sniping. You're not allowed to play it to talk to the person playing.
Yeah, if I find out any of my foxes said that, they are out of the game. I will not tolerate that crap.
Just be like, slow play for as long as possible.
Stall.
Stall your turn out so that you catch up to the delay. Real Terabad hours.
I think maybe we should just go back to the screen share and be ready for the next one. You still discussing between you?
I think we've got our guy.
All right. Back to the screen.
Okay, yeah, we've got our guy.
Okay, so we can rule out Rich Girl on LSD.
Okay.
So,
Foxganger is on the way. And everybody in the chat is saying that he's going to stomp him. Aggro rights or no rights. Aggro rights or hidden rights. Yep, that's correct. See, even your own members understand this concept better than you do, GoodDog.
Yeah, so Punko is actually an advocate for aggro as well.
Uh-huh.
We don't discriminate. Aggro is just fine
Yeah,
in
yeah,
DPG.
sure. Then how come you guys always like silence him?
Silence him?
Yeah, all those times when he wasn't talking, obviously being silenced.
No. Even I play aggro from time to time.
Oh, shut. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I do. I did.
Playing glitter in a Wiz deck does not make it aggro. I'm sorry.
No. I played a my deck, and the whole curious setup is kind of aggro.
Yeah, sure you do. Yeah, sure you do.
It is.
I'll believe it when I choose to.
Ooh, this is an interesting build. I haven't seen Roundhouse in a bit.
Neither have I. I was thinking about it the other day.
I was playing against Icicle earlier, and I never really liked Roundhouse, but it actually saved him several times. But again, I was playing one of these decks that with Puppet Master and Bootstrap. What's it called? Dual Boot. All those that you get them out for less price than they actually are, and it's a perfect counter for that. I still feel that it's weaker than Blowaway, but it was a very good counter for him in that game, in those games.
Yeah. Okay, so what are your thoughts on turn 1 Hydrate? Because that has always been a big puzzle for me.
I wouldn't do it usually.
Yeah, unless you have 1-drops, you really want to use it. It's usually better to save Hydrate for a little bit, I find.
I usually never use it if it's the last thing I do. I want to have mana to actually play some of them. Otherwise, you're just giving more option to your opponent.
Yeah, because they do end up with more cards than you do, since you have to spend the 1 card to draw 3, whereas they just get it for free.
Plus, they get the turn to actually use it to get the advantage. If you use it at the end of your turn, then you don't actually move ahead.
Okay, here's an interesting response. Because obviously, like, Icicle has his pick of whatever he wants to remove here. And he could just remove the entire board here. But if he does, one of those is whisked away and has a valuable piece of removal.
I like to play with a Poet, because you kind of want him to die anyway. So you'll clear the...
Poet could be interesting. Does he want the cost reduction on these cards, though? Because he'd only be getting a 1-cost whisk away.
That's true.
And a catch.
Fly Guy is just such a stable as well. For anybody who can afford him.
A true symbol of the bourgeoisie, playing Fly Guy in your deck.
Right.
And he can put his own Fly Guy out there, and oh boy, that's a tricky thing to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think throwing both into Fly Guy.
I would have made the same play. That was a good call, I think.
Pretty good.
If he happens to be holding it, ooh, swept him.
Moon.
And now Icicle isn't holding that much momentum in his hand for the next turn or so.
No.
He's got Imposter, but then he's mostly just got removal.
Responses more than actual plays. Yeah.
Dropping Imposter early is fine. I mean, it is stealth barrier with.
Plus, he's playing
on board.
against something that could be. It's not aggro, but it could be something pacey.
Mid-rangey.
Mid-rangey.
Yeah, frankly, I don't really know Koi's deck that well. Ooh, he's just gonna float the turn.
I know that everybody was expecting Koi to be playing a city deck, so we flipped that on him.
Yeah, we've got some subversions for you. Ah, no, not the whisk away.
Yeah, Whiskey is mean here. Your favorite cards to hate.
Hey, it's
that player. No, backstab it. Backstab, or you could use Grim Reprisal here. He could.
He's still back to the do I
We got
play
back-
imposter?
He's still back to his issue of not really having aggressive units.
If he had that one extra mana, he probably would have played a Pandora and just shuffled that hand.
I was gonna say, I feel like developing the imposter last turn was honestly pretty good, although I don't know his deck, what his exact plan is. It seems like he's kind of a mix of aggro, combo, kind of mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is a hot response. Ooh, and dragging out the Opal Golem. That is a valuable card. Oh, he does have a way to answer here with Backstab and a Lightning Vial to negate the Golem.
Yeah, seems expensive to backstab that 2/1, but at the same time, it's worth it for the security of killing the Golem.
Yeah.
Could also play 1-punches to soften the Golem and just chill or something. Gets a
I feel like he
clunkier
probably
card.
wants to use 1-punches with the Lion later, though. I don't know if that's viable in his deck, though. I did notice that he had Blade Master, so I'm expecting him to be ripping out some banner.
This is interesting.
Oh, that was... Oh?
I wouldn't play that.
I wouldn't play Ming Long, no.
It looks good at first until you remember that Queen is going to be summoning these jacks on it.
Yeah, you can. Catch is perfect answer for this.
I'm seeing so many cards that I didn't actually know were meta right now. It's so cool. Like, maybe they're not meta and people are just shooting for the fences.
What cards are you talking about? Like,
I
Menglong
haven't
is
seen-
crazy.
No, not Menglong, Queen. I hadn't seen Queen around much.
Oh, Queen is a interesting, like, little stun option. Avatar of Light coming out. I feel like
Icicle is
depending
actually.
on what
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
or depending on what Icicle draws here, Coilies may finally be on board. Because even if he like drops Menglong or something, like Fly Guy is just going to eat that up. He could Orchid for a unit, depends on what he has.
Yeah, that's
He'd be
why I'm
Orchiding for a
checking
Neferti or a
now.
Potion Seller.
You could get Blitz too.
Yeah, but if he does that, then he like
Wouldn't want to play the Ming Long.
Yeah,
You're not gonna.
Could end up being Blitz, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Definitely. Blitz there is not great, but it could happen.
That play is just very strong against the Ming Long right now. 0 damage and a Fly Guy.
And we all know that that Queen of Jacks is going to be coming down again, so he needs to be able to answer it a second time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's creating extra pressure for him. Because, like, Menglong could come down and answer with, like,
He definitely
Hero
doesn't have
attack
any good answers right now.
yeah.
Feel
No! The timeout. That is rough.
feel like sacrificing Cellar into like I don't know, potentially just throwing Cellar in there.
Cellar.
Although I think that you could also make a strong argument for if he had gotten the Grim Reprisal off and then he could have played Cellar, that would have been also a pretty good option.
Yeah. I think he needs to kill that Queen.
He can remove Queen again.
He's just blocking every other play.
Really rough on value. Yeah, that Queen and Fly Guy together, that's a rough thing to deal
very
with.
Strong, yeah.
And of course, every turn that goes by where Koiz is able to hold just some board, and Icicle isn't really able to develop any, that's just life swing in favor of Icicle. Ooh? Could one punch this, but that would exhaust his hero, so how would he remove the Queen? He'd have to still use Burn to Crisp.
I think Koi is doing a really good job of just making every answer awkward.
Every possible, yeah. No matter what he does, he's getting value, and he is depleting Icicle on resources.
Yeah.
The great
So
thing
he's
about Fly Guy is that
sacrificing-
card just always
isn't-
goes plus.
He retook the board. That's something.
It's a shame.
Boys is also holding jacks. Okay, that's one I haven't seen before.
Oh, the jack didn't die, so he didn't get the other shoot. Well, that's better to have the jack alive, anyways. But
Because even just that little one cost
Yeah,
unit.
seal now. It's the only real play.
Downside though, he's going to be taking some damage from that. Swamp Walker's going to be putting 4 more into it. He'll be at 7 health.
yeah, he's gonna get really hurt by this.
In Hearthstone, is if you sacrifice mana, doesn't that actually work the same turn?
Yeah, I think it does. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't played that game in a long time.
Spend mana crystals first, even in Hearthstone. I think it will take a spend if you play like Felguard or something. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure it'll take the spend.
it's definitely better.
Yeah.
Man, Jarso Swamp Walker, that's a clever combo.
I wonder what he wants to draw.
Well, I'm sure he was wondering too. He pulled out of deck.
No, I mean, what's his name? The tutor.
Oh, Icicle. Oh, shoot, is that
Oh,
lethal?
is that GG?
Can he sack the fungi?
Oh.
No! Oh, bogey. He can swipe it.
Oh,
Oh.
it's meta.
Ah,
Not useful right
That'll-
now, though.
that'll teach you guys for playing out of deck.
Yeah, he doesn't get any cards, so that's GG. Wow, that was that's a impressive deck. I have to say that was
an
very
interesting
well
game.
played. Yeah, it completely shut Icicle down in that one. He never really got it rolling.
Nope, and that's always the issue with aggro. You got to get rolling early. If you lose board, good luck.
Right. But
I mean, it felt like the other deck was fairly aggro as well. It seems like a lot of decks here fit into sort of a mid-rangey slot. Aggro, mid-range kind of.
Just want to put this out here. That was a win for aggro rights. Just like to remind the chat of that.
Did play a control-y kind of deck versus an aggro deck, but
Hey, you know, something else just occurred to me too. If he's able to get Swamp Walker and Fly Guy on the board at like the same time, whenever Fly Guy would die, it'd be like the one little ping of damage. Just add insult to injury.
Yeah.
So we've seen 3 Agi decks so far. 2 wins.
Good to see Walker doing
card
some
deck.
work.
It's a fun card. And it
Yeah.
comes with that foul stench attached, which is always a spooky option.
Was a little frail before, so I'm glad that the extra health helped make it a little stickier and more annoying.
Oh yeah.
all right. So I'm waiting for a response for a counter from the Dog Pound gang. Let's see what they want to do to counter that deck. I think I'm seeing more of these. I used to only really perceive Zoe as an aggro choice, but seeing a lot of mid-rangey and control-y decks with Zoe at the moment.
Yeah, it's I actually do think that we have a pretty diverse meta right now. Some cards make me question why I enjoy this game so much, like a turn 4 Undragon. But other than that, other than those massive human rights violations,
How did that
Yeah.
happen? The glacial tomb?
yeah, it was like the 1 in 14 ripped the Undragon from the turn 2 Warlock that you also didn't draw, but you drew the Warlock in like the opening hand plus 2 cards. And then from there, you also have Glacial Tomb in hand. If you manage to connect all of those like stars in the sky, then you just get to summon Undragon turn 4 like it's Exodia.
then don't you still just lose to like Smite or like a burn spell with Wither? Deals like 6 damage back and it turns it into a 1/1.
That's about what happens.
Or Whisk or like Blow. Like there's still a ton of bouts to the Undragon, even though that is a very scary thing.
Oh yeah. I just had Mortal Blow, so I think it was either that or I just started like playing a ton of guard units.
Oh, you just smooshed the Undragon? I thought you lost.
No, I won that game. I'm pretty sure. There was one game he got something completely ridiculous, and I didn't have the answer for it. And then there was another game he got something completely ridiculous, and I did have the answer for it, and I won that one. I think there was another game he's freaking talking about in the chat where like he was playing Hanu or somebody, Shapungo was, and he managed to pull off, I think he said like 6 Hydrexes in a game. I feel like I'm undershooting that, but GoodDog still won.
Yeah.
We're not GoodDog,
attention,
Hanu.
but it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it wasn't me.
The man spends all of his luck on the first turn and then just gets screwed for the rest of the game. Like, you got that really good opening there, and it's gone. Plan B. Yeah, let's see what all the chat has been saying. Check in on the chat. Good game, let's go. Euphrat cheering on fellow Foxganger Koi. Kengo 3 wins, honestly. I trust in him. I do too. That's why he's in Foxgang.
So
Koi is a
Swapgo
monster.
is going to be countering Koi. I think for now, I'm going to ask Koi if he can screen share because, as I recall, last time Swapgo was playing, his internet was struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, here, I'll message him myself. Oh, yeah, my mistake, Coulter. According to Spungo, it was actually a turn 3 Undragon.
Mana Vial do be like that sometimes.
It do be doing that.
There's break points that need to be observed, like 3 and 4 mana in particular, because those are the 1 and 2 mana break points of vials. So that's why certain cards like Twist and Turn are moved just above that threshold to make it so that Twist is a turn 3 play rather than a turn 2 play in most cases.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we got Ashavari in the chat. That's nice.
Yeah, I didn't actually mention this yet, but Ashavari is the person that everybody turned in their deck strings to. So she's actually sitting behind the scenes and checking that everybody is actually playing the decks that they said they were going to be playing.
Oh, yeah, and Shapungo confirmed he did lose the game where he got the turn 3 Undragon.
It's kind of the funny thing.
What? Foxgang.
Okay, so Koi is joining us on the chat, and he's going to be screen sharing.
Yeah.
Just going to tell him to mute.
There was correcting my stories. Apparently with 9 Hydrexes. I wanted to undersell it because I didn't think that there was no way it was really 9. Oh, the madman purchasing Fly Guy. Wait, did you guys price reset it?
I don't know. Maybe it looks really cheap there, doesn't it?
It was 24 cents, or it's 24 arc. Did it go so high it freaking rolled over? Oh my gosh!
It did hit like the max volume, max value.
All right, we are switching to Koi.
No, I know what happened. I bet you Worf sold like all of his Fly Guys. Sold, like all 5 million of them and just crashed the market.
Okay, so this deck
Dang it,
is
Worf,
called...
I had my retirement.
That was why Mrs. Morris was having connection issues.
Just collapsing the servers.
The whole site stuttered when Worf sold back all his Fly Guys.
Oh, hey, GoodDog, I got a comment for you.
Yeah.
Quote from Not George Daniel. Is dog Danish? His accent is hot, low key.
What? Yes, I am in fact Danish.
Yeah, fun
What
facts.
what does that even mean? It's hot, low key.
It's
I
like
think the
hot, but
reverse
in a
should
way
be
that like
low
you don't know.
hot, right? Like grammatically, his accent is low key hot makes more sense than hot low key.
No, there is a key, and it is low, and it is hot.
I'm gonna just go with that's a compliment, I guess.
It is.
It is a compliment for sure.
He's trying to steal somebody's boyfriend. I can't even remember like what the relationships are even more. I know that like we got Missosaurus and Ron because like Fox Gang Dog Gang, like our Romeo Juliet, and he like decided not to show because he didn't want to be on the losing team, as you do.
So,
And of course, like I have my memes that make Coulter feel very awkward. That's always a good time.
we're waiting for Swapgo to, but I mean, Koi can just go ahead and start the game if he's the one sharing the code.
Yeah, I think he is. Oh, that's good timing.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost like was instant. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, we've sold all the fly guys. Did you already talk about this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
You were saying-
we came to the conclusion of. Worse is the 1% according to Ron. Yes. True statement. Fact check. True.
So I'm going to have to just text Swapgo here. So just give me a second.
Whatever deck Werfs play, it better have Fly Guy in it. Better have Fly Guy.
But he sold all his fly guys.
But did he sell all of them?
Maybe. I'm still not sure how Fly Guy went to like 25 cents because the like floor level is supposed to be like 100, I think. So I'm not sure how Fly Guy's price is like at a quarter of that.
We need to just start calling this like Fly Guy economics.
Shouldn't we actually just go with the same code for all games?
Yeah.
So we don't have to ask what the code is for everyone?
We just set it to
Yeah, but-
like DOG FOX, like Dog Fox. I guess that fits.
Dog Fox. I like how you
Yeah.
put dog first.
Alphabetical.
Oh, here we
And
go.
respectful.
Will this be the Horic Fireball spam deck? The Horic lock grinder deck?
I don't know. I don't play it. Looking at this hand, Teenage Witch is a card that I've wanted to experiment with. But this is interesting here. Ooh, guys, he could give Mamba Guard. Ooh, spooky.
I think we're not actually seeing. Let me just put that back up. There we go.
AlphaSapphireX is pitying you in the chat right now, Coulter.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what's being said. I don't have audio for that. I wonder if Swapgo freaking took like my deck. So that'd be a like grand level meme.
I've seen
I'd be kinda
Swapgo play
flattered.
this game before, this deck before.
Is it mine?
No.
Ah.
No. Swapgo is one of the most creative deck builders. I don't think he ever
Oh yeah, that was
anything.
very true. Yeah, no, I was just wondering if like one of y'all were going to do that to like make a statement or something. We thought about it, but then we're like, we don't want to play what we think they're running.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Assert dominance, as you know.
We kind of had the same idea that we should be original and not just. But at the same time, I could see the fun part in actually beating you with your own stuff. But
yeah, man,
Having a real
Schwabko's
back-
really turning out the tempo here. Crystal's going to give Vapors if it dies this turn, and it doesn't, but he can still quite easily set that up. He just needs a 3-cost card. And Skeeter there, Skeeter is a neat card because it always comes back for some value.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh boy, this is
Swapko
a
is one
dominant
of the
board.
few people that actually run this turtle. I don't really see it much out of Discovery.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a 3/4 with guard. It's occasionally useful, like on the meme that you pull it with casket. And it just empties your mana. Surprise!
Swapko has been praising it several times. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's a decent body, yeah. The
Oh,
effect
yeah.
is just kind of, yeah.
Good sets.
the effect was actually specifically, I think, it was an effect that I suggested back when ZAM first was released. I was like, this kind of effect could potentially shut down combo
Yeah,
plays.
that's,
It's
yeah,
like
I
a floodgate.
hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's kind of
mine.
this is a
Look
floodgate.
at that board.
Yeah, that's hard to deal with, and it's even though he
Going
has
back, like someone
See, the
coded.
issue here was that I picked up like entirely in the opening. Like if you remember back, like his other options were Opal Gold, like 2 other cards I remember, but like he didn't really get any of his removal in that opening hand. And I
no.
think we're seeing the same thing that Icicle suffered from in game 2, where like you kind of just get too much of one type of card and you don't get your resources.
Right. Yeah, he's really not getting any great answers here. That was
Ooh,
an unfortunate
Lord,
draw.
no. Yeah, that's not the ideal draw for Swapko. Ideally, you want to hit something like Hydrex, because then you just eat them alive with snakes. But
Yeah,
honestly, Avatar is not that bad because it pops the vapors. Ooh.
it's funny. Like
Oh.
usually, I remember every time Bacon would play, he would actually show his grave and show his deck to kind of show the viewer what he was going to do or what his options would be. But it would actually be a bad idea here because since this might not be the only game, you don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. I would honestly probably still do it, though, because I expect you guys to have just already found my deck. So, like, I want the viewers to see.
I think at least a few
Yeah.
of the players on our team is bringing out stuff they never haven't played on ladder.
Ah, dang, really?
Yep.
Wait a second.
I feel like playing Walker.
Is that going to be Ancient's Rise?
That's very,
Okay. Let me walk through the people at home through like what the potential combo is for those of you who don't know. So, if I'm right, this is an Ancient's Rise deck. And what this can do is you play Avatar of Light as your only non-death effect 2-cost or less unit. And then you have to have Vanessa in your deck, and you have to make sure that like Vanessa doesn't get dusted. But then whenever you do that, after you Grave Royal, the Avatar of Light will always be pulled because it's your only 2-cost or less unit by the Vanessa.
right.
So then from there, whatever 3 non-death units you have will always be on the bottom. Sets it up perfectly for Ancient's Rise. What you can do is you can run Hope as one of those 2 units, and then for your other 2, you play like a... Ah, dang, that was a sick lethal. But then for your other 2, you play, I don't know, like a... And we'll say an Undragon or whatever. And then you just summon these massive dragons, and they have Shroud because Hope.
But we can
Of course, like-
already say that that's not what's going on here.
I thought you were
Yeah.
going in line where you got value off of casting the light element blind and chance when you kept talking about Avatar.
Oh, no, that
Oh,
no,
man,
gross.
the game was like-
Okay, that was a very very
That was a very lopsided
tough
game.
display from Swapko. I
Yeah,
think
we've been-
that deck is going to be hard
That was saying, every
to
time
beat.
That was absolutely oppressive.
we have fantastic players come in to defeat the person who just performed fantastically by performing even more fantastically each time. Always super impressive.
All right, so currently we're going 1-for-1 all the time, and it's that's an interesting development. I was actually expecting that we could get a situation where 2 people would just clean table. Is that that a phrase? Clean table? Is that what you say?
Clean house.
Clean house? Yeah, that's what the one I was looking for.
The North American phrase or whatever. Clean house.
Yeah.
Probably based on a British.
Shoot. I meant to mention this earlier whenever the whole Danish thing came up. Like, apparently, some of the heroes are supposed to represent, like, different regions, which I think is really cool. Like, supposedly, according to Marcelo, when I DM'd him in, like, March, and I asked him about this, he's like, yeah, Fox is North America, and, like, I was also playing Horik. And apparently Horik is supposed to be Danish, after, like, the freaking king from, like, the 8th century or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Norse, so that area. Maybe it was specifically.
Got those vibes.
Yeah, Vikings. At the time of the Vikings, a lot of the time people kind of assumed that it was still Norway, Denmark, and Sweden, but it wasn't really. The kingdoms were much more very different from what they are now.
Well, yeah, now you don't really have kingdoms.
We definitely have.
We have kings and queens.
We have a widespread group of heroes that kind of correspond to different nationalities found on Earth, even though currently I believe Sky is completely disconnected from Earth. It's like it's its own magical realm, but people represent, like, we have representation for different groups of people all over the world in Skyweaver. I actually thought Fox was Brazilian, I heard, and that other characters represent North America. Yeah, because
Fox is massive. Like, the only, like, defining feature of Americans and, like, anything is that they're always, like, tall as hell. Seriously, like, look at international, like, media or movies. Like, Americans are always, like, huge.
Like Tom Cruise.
Yes. Actually, maybe let's not have him represent America. That doesn't bode well.
Now, Cruz is the thing about Cruz is that apparently, at least I've heard, he's not actually that tall, and they find actors who are shorter than him to work with him. So
that's hilarious.
That's what I heard too. And there's like
I think it's kind of a fact. It's not like hearsay. Yeah.
They get like stools you can stand on when they do shots with crowds.
Like, I think he's like 5'8" or something. So he's not like super short, but like he's not hugely tall.
Not
so they have
action hero kind of tall.
Be a bit finicky. Then, like, another off-topic thing. What is it that, like, in the first time they cast Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, the, like, comic book character, is supposed to be like 5'2" or something. He's supposed to be really short because Wolverines in real life are small animals. They're like only 3 feet long. But they're incredibly scrappy for their size. And so in, like, the first film, I think they did some tricks to make Jackman look shorter to try to, because he's like 6'5", or he's like huge. And then they just gave up after that. So that was a funny.
Yeah. That sounds like a metaphor for most of the X-Men movies. Like, they really tried at the start, and they kind of just gave up. And then they came back with, like, First Class. And they're like, you know what, that was too expensive. Why are we even bothering?
Bacon, do you have a pick from the Fox team?
Oh, yeah. They're coming up. I don't know if I'm, like, supposed to announce them or hype them up or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, but I don't want to intimidate your players.
No. So either they should write me or
Hang on,
Bacon
having some issues.
To recap, the current score is 2-2, I believe.
It's 2-1.
It's 2-1, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine the chat going on right now is, I'm not going to play him. No, me neither. No, I don't want to do it. Something like that.
Someone needs to play Wizheart. It's the counter to, like, Phoenix Fireball strats and Death Effect strats.
What?
Just out-heal them and scam them.
So many games against you where you just stall forever and outvalue.
That was why initially I was asked to join a gang, but by Just Add Megan, I said that as the current designer for the game, I don't think it's good for me to join a side because I want to remain impartial, obviously, as the mediator in this.
Right.
But on another note, I definitely would have played Wisdom Heart, and the entire tournament would have taken forever, assuming that I that I wasn't knocked out in the first round I played. It would have added a good 2 hours to the tournament, so probably a very good idea for me.
Also,
For
I
everyone's
think it was good that we implemented the 3-win max, if that was the case, if you were actually playing.
I don't think I would have actually done that well. I think the community's deck building talent has exploded far past my own when it comes to building non-dirtily controlled decks, which is great.
I would just like to elaborate for those who might not have picked up on it. It wasn't a matter of not joining Fox Gang. It was a matter of impartiality. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you think about what gang maybe is more preferable.
Well, he actually rejected Fox Gang. He hasn't actually rejected Dogpound Gang yet, so.
I'll make
He also hasn't asked to join
no
Gang.
60 Minutes gang.
The 60-minute gang.
Yeah.
So I assume there's still a lot of I don't want to play him going on over there, or do we have a pick?
No, we have a pick. I'm just trying to get them set up. Wonder who the chat thinks the pick is going to be. Let's start with let's start that train in the chat. Knowing nothing about the players' decks, just knowing them generally. Who do y'all think the pick is? We still got some of our heavy hitters.
Yeah, so since you just wrote it in chat, I'm not going to go ahead and say it, but...
Well, I think it's more, intense that way.
All right, I'm going to reveal the... I'm going to blow the whistle on this and say it's Rich Girl on LSD, just picking up that mantle and going into war with Swap. Let's see, so... Let's see if Rich Girl can screen share so we don't make swaps, internet explode.
There we go.
The mic working now?
No, you need to deafen yourself. So how are we all doing today? We all staying hydrated?
Actually, that was a good point.
Hydrate or dihydrate?
Hydrate.
I've got 2 more water bottles on my desk. I've already gone through 1. I am very used to public speaking events, so I know the importance of water.
All right.
Some
so
things you just can't live without.
Dog Fox. Just so you all know for the future games.
Sure is convenient that fits in 6 letters. Hey, did we just lose Culture?
Yeah, I think we might have.
Nope, I just muted myself because I was drinking something. I didn't want to make noise.
Shy Culture.
As long as you don't get a bag of chips, I think we're good. All All right, so the code again should be dog fox. It's kind of funny, the whole private start match, join match, because it doesn't matter who goes first. It's actually just join or join.
Yep. That's right. We're bringing out the banjo.
All right, fourth game. We are ahead in Dog Pound Gang by 1. And this is the second game of Swag Go. Okay.
Rainbow.
Yeah, it looks like a rainbow.
Very disruptive opening hand here.
Yeah. Is she gonna
Picking
go with
Desire early?
Yeah, that's a unless it's
that's a sus pick.
Grover deck. If it's a Grover deck, it might be realistic to get it out early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be the game plan. Oh yeah, just looking at all these one-cost cards, my money's on
definitely
Grover.
A Grover deck.
Ooh, that is saucy.
I don't think I've actually seen Rich Girl play Grover before, and I don't see it much in the meta at the moment.
Now, turn 1 Gatto is always incredibly good. Just because those opening 4 cards that somebody takes, those are always cards that they're going to want, like, early. So we just, like, facts and logic, getting that going is just going to screw them up massively. Ooh. Right. Ooh, no. Can remove, and then she can get off the Ghost Duster to negate that on the off chance that he's playing, like, a Dracomantium. Or she could save it, because we don't know what she's going to pull from it. Because if that pulls, like, a Sentry Key, we don't want to really see that yet.
That's probably what is preventing her from doing it. Culture, do you think that our dear kitten might be a little OP?
I mean, we just
I mean, if you compare it to Mekurai...
he just reworked it, man. Calm down. Calm down.
But if you compare it to Mekurai, people generally consider stealth to be stronger than armor. And you have Mekurai that doesn't have any spell or effect, and then you just boosted Gusto.
Ripping out the Sentry Key way early.
Yeah. Gatto's definitely a pretty powerful card.
Especially if you compare it to Mekurai, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, and he's not holding the removal. Oh dear.
The thing is that
some real banner setups here with a Hydrate and then a Sentry Key. Ooh, going for it first.
In Skyweaver, there's kind of an interesting back and forth where, like, Intellect as a prism that's not, like, focused on aggro as much as Agility can get some better early drops than Agility can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To like how Priest and Hearthstone recently got like a 1/4 1-drop.
What? Why?
Yeah. Because Priest is a bad aggro deck, so like it gets a super healthy, powerful like 1-drop that any aggro deck would love to have. But it gets it because it's specifically not very good at being aggro, so it encourages it to try some different, more tempo-based stuff. I do think Gatto is pretty strong. I'm not sure what. I mean, it could move up the curve, I guess, and get some more stats or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of a compact package where removing any one part of it would sort of break it, so it's not like a matter of. Like, all I can see is make it a 0/1, like Songbird.
It could be. It's like a Songbird with an attachment.
Yeah.
Looking at this hand, how do you guys feel? This is very much the hand that like you want to see later in the game, but I don't know if this is what you want like right now.
No. She had a strong opening, but she kind of lost momentum now, though.
See, I blame it on trading the Ghost Duster into the Crystal and not just bannering through it.
Yeah.
She would have bannered through it. She would have had enough points to... She could have played Ghost Duster into the Hellgeist.
Procced.
Yep. Glitter will have replaced itself.
Yeah, that play struck me as pretty odd, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to say about it.
The new interactions, I like it.
Interactions!
The chains reversion.
Up. Top deck dancer. But what light cards does she get from that? Obviously Sky Phoenix. But unless she like goes Scraggy, no, there's not any way for her to remove that this turn, is there? Because like the Gato would die first, so she would lose out on the banner. She could just raw play Scraggy and then attack it with face.
I think
Just
Scraggy
to double board.
There's actually
pretty
no
good.
way except for the Doomsday to actually clear.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah, right.
That's a good play.
Wait.
Just let it live.
Wait. I mean, Scraggy's... Yeah, you couldn't have cleared, but Scraggy's Scorch was still a pretty good play. I thought for a second it could clear, but it couldn't.
No, there wasn't any way to clear. If it was at 7, could have cleared. But not at 6. So now what's really scaring me here for Swap Go is the fact that we're holding on to that Iron Mask. And if this game drags out too long for Swap Go, that Iron Mask, that can shut down a lot of the grindiness that like Strength Heart decks that I like to play can really be good for. Especially when she starts stacking health from like a Nefertiti.
Yeah, Swapgo does have strength, though, which means that he probably has Titanic, which can chew through armor pretty effectively if unanswered, so...
True.
Trapper Keeper is
I'd
another
honestly
card
just-
that I still feel is not... it is still a little too awkward, and it's usually very answer.
Yeah.
With
To be
like a
honest,
sap or a
Making
potion or
Keeper
something.
like a 3/6 or something, which is like a bonkers stat line, but it makes it like means that. Could also see something doing like Gato, or maybe it only affects 1C or more spells, so it can't be answered with a mana vial or something.
But why not just make it cheaper and then make it a weaker unit like Fly Guy? Not as cheap as Fly Guy, but
Yeah, that's another option.
Yeah, maybe like 2 cost 2/4.
yeah.
Could be, yeah. I could see that.
It definitely doesn't need Fate though. If Fate really pushes Fly Guy, for blocking
Yeah.
a spell instead of a unit where you can interact with lead, I don't think the Fate would be very healthy for it. Would you look at this? More units. How fun. This is when the stuff gets good.
It's hard to
Oh,
determine
he's
where
gonna
this
regret
is.
that play.
Yeah, I wonder if he forgot about it.
Ooh, no. Ooh, no. And also the fact that you can remove Garuda now. Moonbeam face. And also develop Scraggy. You won't get the Scorch off, but you would be developing Scraggy, which can threaten. Because to me it seems like his hand is kind of removal weak right now. Or maybe he's just too tied up. Sometimes that happens to a Strength Part deck. You get all of the cards you need, but like you get them at the wrong time, and it just doesn't play out.
I just realized I've never played Horik.
You've never played Horik.
I think I just always considered him OP, so he annoyed me, so I didn't want to play him.
What do you mean Horik is OP? I lose with him like all the time. Don't read into that.
I remember when I started playing, people like, well, you
What?
and Freud and
What?
a lot of people were playing Horik. And I just
Yeah,
felt
it
like
was
it was very
me and
it was
Freud.
being dominated by Horik at the time, so I didn't want to play it.
Horik is just like, he just fundamentally has a good strategy. Big units and healing. And big spells.
Recursion.
And big units.
It's recursion and,
And
then
more
some of the
big
best
units.
removals in the game. And
Get a lot of
Bane.
optional win cons like doing Titanic, Undragon, Grave Royal, Tiamat. You have a lot of things to work with Horik. Using that Impale to get through the stealth, so now he can go right into Omnis Who should he choose. I gotta say, I'm curious about that Desire play there. It was interesting.
That is a wall.
That is a
That is a
massive
wall.
wall. That is a massive wall. And you know what else? It's going to get bigger, because look at what is immediately to the left of that desire. That is 3 more armored health.
Yeah, but I don't think dealing damage is really the issue for Swapko right now. It's just not dying.
He's put forward a pretty decent attempt at not dying here with
Yeah,
Polar
that
Bear.
7/6 Polar Bear is oh yeah, with Doomsday. And he didn't even get
Oh,
full
boy.
value.
And now...
Well, there's the wall.
Oh! Smooth combos. Because you all know what's coming up next turn.
I really miss old teleport.
Y'all know what's coming out next turn. Now, just something I want to make the chat aware to. If he's able to empty the spells in his deck, he can actually play Rat off of the Seek. Will always draw your highest cost spell. So, when you...
There goes that.
Never mind. See, I would have actually scraggied your face there.
Close
I would
now.
think it's just throw Phoenix down, but I don't know the status of the grave.
Is that a thing that's going to be after? It's these two cards actually. You have Phoenix and you have Hacks. Are they going to be showing counters?
Well, it depends. He needs to dust them.
Like Phoenix, and you asking me if like Unophobia will tell you the number of 1-cost cards?
Yeah, so there'd be a counter on Unophobia actually showing a number, and with Sky Phoenix just like lighting up or something, making
given enough time.
Ancients Rise. What did I tell y'all?
Given enough time, that'll 100% be something that's it's just a matter of different like priorities and stuff. But yeah, the sorts of counters or yellow glows to show when cards are active are definitely something we want to do.
Consider the amount of games that you have to play versus Alpha
lethal?
and just be counting
lethal.
Grave all the time.
Yeah, that's lethal by the look of it.
Yeah, Germinate the Hellgeist. He only gets... Or no, he gets both.
No, it's not lethal.
No, you missed lethal.
No, I don't think he missed lethal. The Elder... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, he did, because he could have given the Hellgeist Shroud a stealth to put it... to remove his card.
Yep. He could have evicted it to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, you could have moved it out of the way. I didn't even see that, though, to be fair. I was thinking, oh, yeah, just Germinate, it's cool. And then it's like, no, actually, it's not at all cool. Uh-oh.
The Grover with no
now.
units.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, this is a very solid board for both of them.
Yeah.
Which is going to tie up Swapko a little, because he plays an AoE, he is way more down.
But what's his healing options here?
Avatar of Light, Raise Arms, Shiva, Chomping a Cookbook.
Yeah, but Shiva
Is it time for the Inspire
could be a
play?
If he plays it.
We're going to see the Inspire blind to gain 1 life.
See, the big issue with Horik's healing is that it's pretty much always reactive. Like, you get healing from crystals through vapors, but you gotta wait for it to die. Earth Golem, you gotta wait for it to die. All of the mummies, you have to wait for them to die. So very much, if you just run down Horik fast enough, they won't get to use their healing because they have to play the card, and then they have to wait for it to, like, die or do stuff. Like, Cleo's another example. Eclipse and Vanessa have that lifesteal, but again, it's reactionary healing. You have to be on top of it. Ooh! Right. Beast is strong, and so is that hope. Ooh, my. What an aptly named card for this situation. Okay, he could actually start running away with this game now.
Yeah. If
that is a...
Unophobia is in there somewhere, though, right? Oh, that'll buy some time.
Iron Mask. Iron Mask.
Yeah, the Unophobia, but again, how many 1-cost is that really in this deck? You did have Grover, but is it that many?
Yeah, it's possible. I think I've heard tell of this deck though, and like its strategy is to make a bunch of bookcases, or there was a deck where the cookbooks provide a good kicker in the turn to Phobia damage.
Words was trying to do something with that. The issue is that when you don't play 1-cost spells in your deck, and your whole strategy is to spam bookcasey, you're out of decking those. So every bookcasey is just sapping your health. Ooh.
That is a solid wall. I don't think any phobia is not going to go through that.
Seal of Doom does. Ooh boy.
Seal of
Ooh
Doom
boy.
will, yeah.
No! No!
I gotta say, I really thought that Rich Girl had this. It was looking huge.
I did too. Man, that
Oric managed to hold it
with all the guard units. Also kind of just grinded out of draw. There is that... There was that Sky Aura in the deck earlier, but it just didn't show up. And it doesn't matter how much draw you play if you don't actually get to utilize it.
But she's dead next round.
Yeah, easily. Pain.
You guys are saying he. Do you know that for sure, or is it just...
What?
I mean, you are referring to Rich Girl as he. Do you know, or...
Oh. Honestly, I didn't even notice I was doing that. I don't know, honestly. I don't generally
I was assuming the opposite, but yeah.
But anyway, I honestly can't be too mad, because I really like Garuda as a card. I just like it. It's cool. It's a big-ass bird with a spear, and it just goes shank. Oops, now my entire board is banner. It's a fun card. I like it. So I honestly can't feel too bad about that loss.
Just seeing the chat now. Rich Girl has this in the bag. Yeah.
You would think. You would think.
That is another one for the dogs. So if Swamp goes and wins the next one, he's out either way.
Yeah.
But preferably take one with him.
Okay. I've got one of my people volunteering. Let me see. Man, yeah, that Hope. What an
chat is
aptly
going
named
crazy
card.
for this. For these
Yeah,
plays.
look at that.
Swamp made a crazy, recovery there.
And honestly, if she had just drawn like Sky Phoenix when she still had a board, that would have been lethal. Because fun fact, it can go face.
It was like really honestly a super close game. Like there was that one moment where there was a miss lethal, which I would have missed 100% as well.
Yeah, it was not an obvious lethal.
Yeah, the game was on the knife's edge the whole time. So huge congratulations to both wonderful players here.
Yeah, it was a very good plays.
So okay, my member is on his way.
So we have your grandpa, Euphrat, and AlphaSapphireX left.
Yep.
I think there could be some strategy to, I don't know, maybe keeping Alpha. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Perhaps.
But there is actually a breaking point where you can't win either way. Say if your grandpa and Euphrat were to lose to swap go, then Alpha Sapphire wouldn't be able to win alone.
It might be interesting to consider a rules addendum that if when a team is down to their last member, the 3 wins and then you're out thing might not apply.
Yeah, that would.
I actually would go ahead and make that addendum. Is that the word addendum?
Addendum.
Addendum. Yeah. If that's good with you, Bacon, I think we should just agree on that.
Yeah, I agree.
There should at least be a fighting chance for the last person.
Mm-hmm.
You can take down 4 people on your own.
Yeah.
I mean,
then you deserve it.
Not to hype myself up too much, but if they were all playing aggro, yes.
But I was actually considering it earlier on, but to avoid, just because the whole 3-person rule is to make sure that you don't have one person steamrolling the whole team. But if you just put him at the end, then he's still able to steamroll the whole team, theoretically. So you could just play a strategy around that.
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, maybe then what you had add personally. I'm saying, like, assuming all players are on a more or less equal footing, but if the worry is that specifically that some people may have a higher skilled ceiling or whatever than others.
I would say I'm confident enough in the dogs that I'd say if you can beat 4 or 5 of them, you deserve the win.
Yeah. I think it's pretty rare that situation would occur, but I do remember reading about a fighting game tournament or something. It was a gang type tournament where there were like 6v6 and one team managed, or I think it was more like a 12v12, and one team was up 6-1 and the other guy managed to reverse it or something.
Nice.
He managed.
But that's what I love about this format, though. It's you can keep the hope up until the very end.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, that was the only reason I would freaking spot that lethal, because I had Euphrat pull the same thing on me in like finals of a tournament. He got the like Shadow Assassin card. It was like a 3-cost 4/2 with stealth, and it had backstab attached. But this was the old backstab that like wasn't really worth running, and it just said summon, give a unit stealth. But whenever he played that, he like wiped out one of my guard units, and that was enough to break him through. And I just felt like I had just gotten like memed on. So I'm like, what? That irritated me.
I feel like
Unfortunately,
Coulter's doing
the card
something like in the kitchen in the background.
Oh,
Probably
sorry.
like cooking like ramen noodle or something. Man's got to eat.
This is a long time to go without ramen.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think,
Cup ramen or stove ramen?
Did you guys pick another player?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me check in.
There are some people shuffling around back here. It's like some family members, so I'll just mute this while until the game's actually back. And if anyone has any questions, they can ask me specifically. So
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah.
hang on. This person just messaged me. I'm playing him right now.
Who's playing who?
My people.
Oh, so they just entered the game without.
Yeah, without getting on the stream.
So who is?
Grandpa.
Okay, it's Grandpa. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna see if I can add him to the chat. See if we can get this going quick.
Well, if anything, that lets them feel out each other's decks a little. One thing that's interesting about this whole deal is that, well, like a lot of the gameplay actually comes from like knowing the other person's deck.
Right.
Like that's just a massive advantage. That's how I feel like I actually get a lot of my wins. Because I'll be playing something like Gina Reno, and I'll be playing his like Out of Your Heart deck that can absolutely just floor you. And I'm like, okay, so basically, turn 7 Draco Manfield, you have no hard removal, and now I'm swinging at your face. And it's like he can't really do anything about it. And like it doesn't matter like how well you can like draw cards in this instance, or how well you can outvalue people, if you just can't deal with like my 6/9 dragon. You just don't win that game.
It's actually another thing that I was wondering. The whole deck string on recent games, is that really necessary?
Hang on. For those in the chat, this does not count. This game is not viable. Because like we need to see the stream.
Yeah, we need to see the stream. Coulter, are you still with us?
Yep.
The deck,
I was just
the
muted.
deck string on the recent games, I feel like if a
The
person
deck
has
strings
been
on the
play-
ladder is interesting.
if you've been playing a couple of games and somebody comes in and plays for the first time, then the other person can actually go in, see the deck string, and see your entire deck while you're playing in the dark. I feel like that's an unnecessary advantage.
Yeah, it
Like,
adds a different
From your
level.
previous
Yeah, if right now if I go in and play and I go in and see, okay, so I'm playing this guy, he just played 2 games before, I'm going to see his deck string and I'm just going to see whatever he has, but he doesn't know what I have because he doesn't know what deck I'm playing.
Yeah. Perhaps in the future we ought to have like open deck lists.
I've never really understood why it needs to be that open. I mean, if it's so people can learn and share, isn't it good enough that they can just search it up in the rank with top decks?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say
no.
that we
I
could
was
do that,
thinking
but you
20.
could still snipe using the top decks, or potentially snipe because you could still like look at that player and then find their recent decks or whatever there.
But maybe.
But good point. Obfuscating it a little is a decent idea. Making it a
See,
little.
I would just
hard.
like the option to make it where my deck is private, where like you can't look at the stream. I think that's a pretty easy fix.
You can't look at the what? The like. It
Or like
doesn't
I could
appear
just like a
names?
setting. Yeah, just say turn it off. Okay, you can't look at my string. Because I enjoy looking at other people's decks because I use that to like basically counterpick them. But I don't want people doing that to me. You know?
Yeah, I think it's also a matter of the smaller community right now. Once there are like hundreds of games happening or whatever, like there's plenty of people, it will be harder to find. Like the recent games will progress really fast, and so it'll be harder to locate the person you are fighting in there, which will probably make the issue less of an issue at all. But it's definitely something worth considering. Yeah.
Also, it also adds the extra, like you can spend 4 hours making a deck, and then you can't even have it private for one game. You can actually have a mirror on your second game.
Hey, just quick question. Can you all hear me?
Yes, you're just fine.
Oh,
All right.
Discord
so we
just
got
showed up that was like, you can't hear. Yeah, strength int.
All the different heroes.
I actually just made strength int. I think it's. I don't see it much being played right now, but it's actually pretty strong right now. Oh, interesting cards here. Those are a lot of the cards that I like to play.
Fish is going to be interesting, depending on what all he can grab with that. That card, you can just slam some stuff down with it. And
I
it's deck
usually
thinning.
don't play fish that much if I have that many low costs. But I see that you can kind of just cycle the card.
Yeah.
But
The hand with no units.
I think that was the biggest gripe I had about when I was changing teleport. The only thing I don't like about the new version and it's kind of similar to fish in the same prism. I mean, I like the old version a lot too, but I do think that the old version of teleport would forever mar the potential designs of 2-cost because it was so good with specific 2-cost units, a specific type of 2-cost unit.
Yeah, I remember every time a patch came out, I was just looking for the 2 costs just to see if anything were viable for a teleport.
Yeah, so that's why, as much as I thought teleport, like everyone else, was a super cool card, I'm like, this is like a...
That is a risky play. Hang on.
Yeah.
Brimstone gets killed here.
Yeah.
He's going to lose his mana flask.
Burn the flask. There's a lot of those plays where
though.
He gets away with it.
Yeah, with Jacko or with the Violet or something like that. You really have to be careful to play them out early.
Yeah. Violet's a fun card. It sets up Dracomantium. That's about it. That's why I like it.
Interesting draws for the Crystal Kashi.
Yeah,
cash. It's just cash. It's spelled as like money, cash.
Oh, really?
Like it's just pronounced cash. A cache is like a secret like hidden store of stuff. So you're digging up a cache, which is like a treasure of crystals, basically.
Still have some good removal and looks like a lot of value with those Gift of Swords. It doesn't see that much play either, but so much value in that card.
There's my dragon. And I actually... So here's what I would do, actually. Anti-Mago. Yes, it's going to die. But then next turn, Cobalt Soulforge.
It's like, do you not play Cobalt here just for tempo? I guess you're not that desperate for tempo.
No, but honestly, that reshuffle is helpful too. On the Hunt will fetch something.
Cobalt costs 0, you could play it first.
Grandpa is one of those really creative players that always goes for the fun combos and plays cards that doesn't usually see that much play.
Like On the Hunt. Oop, Shogun. That's a card I like. And that Mother Mander. Ooh boy. If he's able to hold on to his fire, that card's going to be spooky.
Recently, Grandpa and I were both trying to see if we can get Invest to work, so we made a lot of different 99 health decks. Yeah. None of us got anything
Blast
viable.
Does answer here. But I don't know if he wants to hold on to that card for later, because Blast is a lot of damage. Especially with the flames.
Yeah, I'd probably hold on to it.
I think he might also be thinking about like Dracomantium. He's got like some metal cards in his grave right now.
Oh yeah, good point.
And Blast will consume them when it fires. I think I would have been very, very hard pressed to not play Blast there.
Yeah.
But maybe so some more stuff.
Gerudo with lead's going to send him back a little.
Soulforge is good.
Soulforge is an option.
Soul Taunt.
More Mortal Blow.
I'm sorry, I'm immature. I like that card.
I'm surrounded by children here. I've heard people mention it numerous times. I mean,
what else can you play if you play Mortal Blow? Yeah, you can play Anti-Mago if you Soul Taunt. I'd probably go to that too.
I think he wants to hold on to the subjugate until later on, which I think is wise. Ooh, no, I would have vested the Skeeter there. Just for that value.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, why not remove it? Well, regardless, looks like Mama's coming down next turn. So we'll see
Skeeter
what he
is
sets up
probably one of
for
the
turn
cards
7.
that I hate the most. I think it ruins all Veil and all Puppet Master and decks and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, that's why we play it. It gives us options. And so the
Terrible.
Mama comes down. But here's the issue. How much healing does Strength Nth really have? Not too much.
Strength is supposed to actually have getting more healing options. We did add, like I added some, but they're mostly focused around lifesteal, so it's better to have board presence. It doesn't really heal itself via spells. It heals itself more via units, via granting lifesteal or having decent units with lifesteal.
Yeah.
So do you
The
go
issue,
face
though,
here?
is that, of course, you can't heal reactively. You've only got that.
I'd probably go face here.
Yeah, I would also be going face.
The respect.
Okay, well, now the blast can come down at least. Yeah, I think you play blast, and then you kind of have to
then
play
deal with
Ifrit
whatever
here.
comes from Rumbo. I have to say Rumbo got crazy good after that last patch.
Yeah, the anima thing may have been a bit of a bridge.
I don't know.
I mean, the deck that I'm running right now with Int and just a guaranteed Howl Guys or a guaranteed Mushka
I would be dusting Rumbo.
with Rumbo.
Mm-hmm.
That is evil.
Yeah.
Those zombies, you can at least feel Ifrit. There's Casket. Up and there's Casting Chrome. Uh-oh.
Was that what he was hoping for there?
I imagine so. No! So unfair.
What do we have left?
Not much.
It looks as if Swapgo might get the clean sheet.
Puts out a lot of value. And also, it didn't help that
If Frit
Grandpa
will
kind of
kill
got
him,
burned
maybe.
down. Really.
Will Ifrit OOD kill him?
No, I don't think so. He has a fair number of fire cards in his deck. We saw Moltenus earlier. Obviously, no more Tiamat.
Yeah, he's looking now. So we have 1, 2. So he'll take
1 point.
2. No, yeah, he'll only take 1. Yeah.
That's assuming Ifrit dies, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ifrit dies.
Okay, 1.
Boom, we could.
That's
That's lethal. That's lethal.
All right.
And the clean sweep.
For Swap. Holy moly. Off to a brutal start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got off well. We just couldn't find the answer that we were looking for to that deck. Which is funny, because I actually grinded a ton of games of Strength Heart against them. It's just I was playing a different Strength Heart. Maybe that screwed them up? God, I hope not.
So now
That'd be...
both teams needs to pick. I guess we won't say who they're individually picking before they actually pick.
Yeah.
So if DPG can just text me their pick, and Foxgang can text Bacon.
See, I was actually talking about like the Salamander deck the other day. Like I said, the issue with it is that you usually die before you really get to go off with it.
Mm-hmm.
Although the allure of the turn 5 Mother Mander is quite appealing. Especially because since you Soul Forge it from your hand, you basically have to have one less fire card, because now you get to count Mama.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Quick maps with Bacon.
Yeah, Mother Mander's a very cool card that I like a whole lot, that I think will have its day again. It had its day several times in the past when it was like 6 mana.
Oh, no, don't remind me.
It was
No,
also
my-
a fair bit weaker, though. Like, its body is considerably stronger now.
Yeah, it was a 2/4, but the boon was never from having like the one Mama. It was just having all of that banner for removal, and then you'd combine that with some healing, and you would just annihilate whatever unit they played.
Yeah. At that point, I think that, what is it? The Firemanders were also 1/3s. Because Firemander used to be a 1/3 banner wither when it was like main deckable before it got rotated out, because first the 1/3 banner was judged to be like kind of too strong. And it kind of does look sort of silly next to stuff like Clawbear. So
Yeah.
rather than doing that, we added Pyrecrafter or whatever, which is just Firemander plus that death effect, which is pretty powerful, but not like statistically as good strong as something like Clawbear. I do like Clawbear. I think Clawbear still sees play, right? I'm pretty sure I see it around.
I see
No.
one person
No.
playing it. Werfs.
Not even. Yeah.
I feel like he has some kind of nostalgic feeling toward it, something.
Okay.
But I realize it's a decent body, but it's still, yeah, a little too weak in my opinion. But
Yeah, a lot of the 1-drops have really good effects and stuff. So
yeah, it just doesn't give you that much. What do you call utility?
yeah, for sure.
All right, we have our next. Do you guys have your next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can reveal that Burfs will be picking up where Swapgo left off. The ruins,
Yeah.
the battlefield massacre he left. So who will he be playing?
That would be a Mr. Euphrat.
Cool. All right. So I don't know if.
And honestly, I'm pretty sure Euphrat is like kind of in some of the less than ideal like regions for internet connectivity.
What? Isn't he from like Belgium or something?
Yeah, I'm messaging him.
I don't think he's. I think their internet is just fine.
And I thought he had told me before. Here, let me check. Is Werfs able to stream?
I'm asking.
I think Worth's usually has a pretty good setup. He does like
Yeah,
streaming.
he does.
Yeah, he does like actually stream.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he can and see if he accepts the
Yeah.
invite here.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Maybe.
So yeah, mute and we'll deafen, and then screen share if you can.
And away we go. Ooh, another banjo deck. Is this going to be the Zam combo we've been waiting for? Because we've been waiting for you guys to play it. I mean, like, we knew somebody on your team was going to have it. Because that cursed deck is just everywhere.
Which one?
The Zam combos.
Yeah. I blame Hanu.
Am I behind? It looks like Worfs is still trying to
Like, you just-
connect.
Oh wait, no, it's the mono strength. Ooh.
Yeah, Worfs.
See, I have actually played that deck.
I see.
There was one
Worfs
game, he got
lead.
like a freaking 9-5. But I had Cleo and I was able to clean it. Side effect, I took 18 points of face damage by turn 3.
Jeez.
Still won. Still won. Because, fun fact about these mono decks, you really don't have to do anything to them. You kind of just have to let them draw their cards. Because compared to like a 30 card deck, like a 20 card deck is just much shorter. So, like, you can literally just run them out of gas pretty easy. And then it's like turn 10 Grave Royal, okay, I heal for 8, and I'm out of lethal range. GG.
Yeah, it can be very true. Life is hard for mono prism decks.
Yeah, didn't you? I think it was either you or Saigon saying that generally they performed worse than the dual prism decks.
Except when they didn't, which was a scary time when you had like a 90% chance to open what was effectively like old teleport into a 2-mana hot dog into a run wild, which used to fetch a 3-drop, so it got bolt and you took like 9 damage on turn 1 90% of the time with mono agility. Yeah.
Think about agility is still one of the most viable solo prisms, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because the thing about mono prism is currently there's not that many good ways to build like slower decks. You're always doing some sort of scammy, consistent, like aggressive strategy with them.
Like this right here.
But there's also like a Lotus deck, like a Lotus like Wisdom deck with like Grover and stuff that just aim to drain its deck as fast as possible to play like early Sky Phoenix with 1 revive setup plus Desire and stuff, and just try to and World Tree like on turn 4 as an 8/9 and just try to crush the opponent with that. So they tend to be sort of like gammy, like answer me or die decks. It's definitely something I haven't for the future, but I think that having a smaller deck, as long as the win cons are there, is like always better than having a big deck. Because of consistency, as long as you can win consistently. And Skyweaver's kind of grindy by nature at times. Like your defensive tools are pretty decent. But I think that as time goes on, mono prism decks can only really improve. Like it's not possible that like in a vacuum they will only get better because they'll get more stuff. then
Yeah.
it'll matter less. The diversity of like being able to splash other prisms will matter
Yeah,
less.
that makes
once
sense.
there's more.
If we could, because that is definitely the drawback at the moment is diversity in the options. This
Ooh, that early grunk.
this
Ooh, that is
Hallgeist,
a
I
risky
think
play.
he might be playing that because of the Rumbo combo.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
Rumbo is solid with the anima. Like, let's just state facts here.
Oh, that is a solid. Oh no! Why didn't it pop?
Visual bug. I've played mind control a lot. I already know.
Oh,
That's just a
jeez.
visual bug.
Report that right away. Wait, what happened? Why does Grunk not have?
So mind control, it snags the unit, but it puts the dazed on top in such a way that it doesn't actually remove the previous enchantment, but that's only like visually. So if you try to like remove the daze or whatever, it'll like you'll be clicking both the enchantments at once, and it'll tell you that there's no target.
Yeah, my only
Everything
question is
works properly.
Why it's 4/4? It's because it got reduced attack before it was.
Oh, my bad. I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
you do
make
blink and you do miss it. And already, that play is actually way bigger than it looks like on the surface. Because not only is he removing one of his anima tools, but also, how does Mushka proc her anima? Oh wait, she has to have earth cards in the discard to dust. And yeah, Claw Swipe is there. But his discard pile right now is just Mana Flask, the Chop in a Half, and then the Wind Sword. He doesn't really, like if he was to hypothetically draw Mushka, even if he got the Glory across, he wouldn't be able to proc it.
I'd like to ask a question of Just Add Bacon here, which is, what am I seeing across the board right now? Am I seeing a Wiz Heart deck from Fox Gang?
Nope.
I care much more about winning than my values.
This whole aggro rights, they're all playing combo mid-rangey decks.
No, Just Add Bacon's just like he remembers the ancient times when Wisdom Heart was an aggro prism for like a patch and a half.
Yes.
And it was pretty funny. Like I pioneered some weird Wisdom Heart aggro decks that use like Gato and disruption tools to just beat people to death. Which I think a lot of that kind of philosophy has carried over into Horic decks, where they run like a ton of little cycling units, like Crystal and stuff like that. Because that was what the deck largely was a ton of cyclers and then disruptive tools like Gato. So it's cool to see that it sort of moved on to a new strategy now.
Darn, this Hellgeist is really just sticking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem
I'm
to have
not
an
gonna lie, I was expecting
answer.
Rat to just like Blue Moon on the last turn and then just wipe out Hellgeist. Apparently not. Do something.
And even though he
I
has
always...
such a small hand with Gift of Swords, he's going to be filling right back up.
Wait.
And that's also going to turn Brimstone back on.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
can
it's
just
a tough
lock
spot
down
for you,
board
Fred.
this turn, though, with like maybe a Raise Arms, even if he has to drop his own units. Ah, no. No. No!
Oh, there's a... That's good.
Healing?
Eradicate.
Oh,
Eradicate! Let's go!
Total
He's still
death.
in the game.
Total
Gift of Swords?
tempo game.
Ah, that's interesting. He's going to allow lifesteal to proc.
Even if he had killed it, he would still have the mummy.
Yeah, true.
Ooh, that was tight, though. Dude, this game... I'd actually say this game is pretty open now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a big hand.
I'd
both of
still
them do.
say that
Cloud Slop. Oh, no.
not a lot of value on that, though.
Getting dicey, but now Cleo can be held up, and he's
The
still
days on the
presenting.
Cleo, that is huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
The Shiva could still come down, though. We've got one more turn until Wrath comes online. And if Euphrat doesn't know about that Wrath, ooh, that's going to be rough.
Euphrat did just get all 5 cards in his hand discounted by the cloud slot, so he probably has a ton of mobility right now. It's just a matter of seeing what he can do to answer these threats.
Yeah. Worf seems to be trying to increase his actions per minute down there. Yikes, man, chill.
Word Shatter can also go Fade, or is it Sunder? Yeah, Sunder. Which means it can punch for another 2 damage. Yeah, that's not actually that bad of a play. It's pretty decent. Gets the
he really just
clear.
needs to be able to outlast him. That's all he has to do here.
Yeah, doesn't really mind. Although, like, the amount of direct damage burn Worfs has, for the moment at least, is increasing.
6, 7. He has 7. He needs to remove that mummy, though. Otherwise, it's just going to start ramping up healing. He's setting up the Wrath play. Worfs could actually ram his whiskers into Mushka and then whisk it away.
You mean Euphrat?
Or, yeah, Euphrat could.
No. But Whiskers won't die.
No, he needs to die.
Right. Pulse Major, can't count, sorry. It's amazing I'm able to even play this game.
Well, you can have a lot of opinions about it.
Fact check. True. Don't tell me he just passed his turn. Oh?
Okay.
He is digging for answers.
Yeah. Did he get anything?
Who knows what that could be, though?
Euphrat has to have something. Prismata.
That's healing. That's healing.
Really not draw removal off Prismata to kill some of these little things?
Apparently not.
Oh,
that feels rough.
Yeah.
Wow, Worfs is really excited to play Sunder there.
Well, I'm gonna smash that cat to shreds, so... Although right now, do you maybe just Wrath? I don't know how much you care about the Elder Woods, actually, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, this is, like, almost lethal.
Worfs is getting low, he needed the lifesteal there.
That's true.
Yeah.
And this is still anybody's game, because whisk away. LOL.
It is actually still open. If he has answers for it, he needs an answer.
There wasn't
for
like an out for lethal there, was there? No.
I don't think there was a route to lethal.
Yeah.
Roots were just...
I think he maybe could have saved Sunder and used Amalgam to trade into Whiskers instead, and then he would have maintained Sunder to do face damage. Like if you use Claw Swipe to slice off, like Roots, Claw Swipe, and then he could have traded Amalgam to Whiskers and only lost 2 health on it.
I don't know, but look at that board.
Well, at least Jokinsu is not something that needs to be insta-removed anymore.
Yeah, now you can just kind of let it live.
You can also kill it here and then play Jar Souls and get it again.
Yeah,
and if he does, that
leaving Jokinsu alive is still not great because he can be recurred.
This is starting to look pretty good for you, Fred.
See, it's the issue with mono decks. You get those really wacky openings, but like you got to win off of it. Otherwise, you just don't have anything. Because like think about his possible draws next turn. You can either get that or yeah, that is game. I'm sorry.
Worf's just trolling.
Yeah.
Worf's just a comedian.
I would have respected that more if he did it like the first time something went bad. It would have been funnier. The first time anything goes wrong. Well, time to give up. Opponent plays any healing card, time to concede.
Yeah. See, this is why we need main deck Fireball. Okay. Now hear me out. Turn 9, do 9 damage. Those numbers are in fact the same. 9 does equal 9. Therefore, fair and balanced. Pack it and ship it. Open beta.
I think there are plenty of fireball shenanigans going on. Without having
No
to name.
joke. No joke. I have one CD deck I refuse to play, and its most expensive units are literally just Flame Phoenix and Timber, and the rest of the deck is just like setting up copy shenanigans and a lot of sticky, like 2-cost guard units. And then like literally all it is you either set up Flame Phoenix copies in the control matchup, or you set up Timber, and then like whenever you use Grave Roll, it's just like a rail gun. It just eats through all of their health. And even if you don't kill them, you just got so much swing from that. Like, what did they do? How did they come back?
He needs some crazy ODs at this point. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot of option. Of course, there's a lot of big units that he can be drawing.
Hydrate or Dihydrate. Why not both? If he can get the lethal here, he can actually like use Hydrate to deal 3 points of burn damage.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. He needs 3 more points. There it is.
That is, yeah.
No! He needed to target his face.
Yeah. Oh, he has banner.
Yeah, he does.
All
He
right.
was just styling. No, worse. At least let us see the draws. Oh, you let us see the draws. That's cool.
All right.
Hey!
Wow, that was a
Fox Gang, we
pretty
are back
strong
in it.
comeback. I gotta say that was impressive, especially against Werfs.
That whole mess.
Wow.
See, I told you guys, we've been practicing, we've been training. I have yet to lose faith in my gang. And even
Yeah.
after this, even if like we just get completely crushed after this, I will still be proud. Because hey, we beat your stupid like anima combos.
Let me see here.
And honestly, I'm just really happy with how this has turned out. Like, we've got a lot of people in the chat. We've got a lot of people who are enjoying this. All the games have been really tense. It's been great.
I'm loving the variety. There's so many different decks being shown off. It's fantastic to see all the different variety here.
Yeah. Gotta say, may have to revise my opinions on Wisdom after that game.
If this
Hey,
comes down
I'm
to
not a
Hanu versus
hypocrite.
your Fred in the next game, then we can be here all night.
And tomorrow.
Well, see, I do think it seems like, by and large, a lot of the game has become more sort of mid-rangey, which is a good baseline, I feel. Kind of actually fighting for board in the mid-game and stuff. So that's exciting to see. Even maybe Wiz Heart Mirrors will be more focused around taking board a bit. Although, I mean, in this game, it was mostly about Wisdom Heart doing what it does best by stalling till the cows came home, but...
It's really unfortunate when you're playing a deck that has to win super fast. Going up against a deck that's entirely geared to stall really does not gel great for you. But we're still played an amazing game. That was hella close.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Wiz Heart is sort of like supposed to be the ultimate punish to super greedy aggro is basically the idea. But it actually, I've had it where it really struggles versus more balanced aggro sometimes, because one of Wisdom's things is that Wisdom has trouble dealing with wide, bulky boards outside of Doomsday, and even that reloads your opponent's hand. So Wisdom is like tricky. It has a hard time like actually running the opponent out of resources if it wants to clear big units at times.
Yeah. I was actually running a deck that kind of does that idea. This was like a week before the Epic Eagle buff. Honestly, I was just looking at it because I'm like, I wonder if like I can try this. Because this was whenever I was just screwing around with Fox decks. And I'm like, wait, so Yeah.
Yeah, so Gino Reno is next.
Oh.
So we have to find out whether we want to go with him or you, Fred, for the screen share. Can you, Fred, screen share or?
He can. Honestly, though, I think it'd be
Did he
more
have bad
fun.
internet or?
Gino Reno is playing aggro, isn't he?
Let's see.
I mean, my money is him playing that Agi Heart deck, which is really just fundamentally cool.
Let me just see here. All right, I'm gonna try and add Gino Reno. Hey, Gino Reno, please mute. And
Howdy.
Deafen.
Yeah.
And screen share.
Yeah, I'm gonna check in with the chat, see what's going on here. Lots of GGs, nice comebacks.
A lot of high fives, I bet.
Dying with Clawbear as the last straw. I didn't even notice that. The man drew Clawbear and then died. What does that say? It says a lot about society.
Maybe it says we need to make Clawbear like the equivalent of Mechathune or whatever, where if it's the last card in your deck, it just instantly wins the game. It gains charge.
What a dumb design.
It gains plus 20 and haste.
Was that actually reading a deck that kind of fan of the Mechathune design? It's like, let me just win by spending the maximum amount of time playing this game. It's not like I want a fast game. It doesn't have to be aggro. It doesn't have to even be mid range. I'm fine with controlled decks as long as they're actually fast and they really interact on board.
I think ironically Mechathune from a design standpoint was kind of like that because it meant the control deck didn't have to care about trying to get the most out of its resources. It could just blow through all its stuff at max speed to try to drain its deck and hand as fast as possible. So it did create an interesting thing where the control decks were incentivized to play fast. There was a reward for that. So from that perspective, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It did feel kind of bad, though. I have heard people complain that Fireball at times feels bad. Getting hit with 4 fireballs in Skyweaver turn after turn after turn. Feels frustrating. And I can kind of
say I've done that to anybody in a while.
Yeah. I can kind of see that, but I also like that Fireball offers a good win condition for controlling more defensive decks to play towards if they want that's not just grinding the opponent to death. There's an actual gameplay there if you want to recur a bunch of Flame Phoenixes and continuously shoot them out. I think Flame Phoenix was the most used card in the game at one point or something like that.
It's very good.
I love Flame Phoenix.
Flame Phoenix is a really fun card. Fun.
So we're waiting for Gino Reno's in the game. He's waiting for Euphrat to join.
Fun story time if anyone wants for Skyweaver Alpha story time. The original design for Flame Phoenix actually did something, I can't exactly remember what it did, but I think it was its current effect. It dealt 3, I think it was 3 damage to all enemies or something when it died, and it was a 7 mana 5/3 or something. But it also shuffled it. It shuffled itself back into the deck after dying. Which meant that it led to it led to very stally, bizarre scenarios where you weren't sure whether you're supposed to keep playing your Phoenix. Where if 2 people both had a Phoenix at the end, it led to very weird gameplay loops. So that's why it was simplified for that reason.
Oh, that's the freaking Rainbow Dragon
design, which is Rainbow Dragon or the original Sky Dragon or something it was called was a pretty cool card too. It's just the main problem was that Sky Dragon itself could be the main problem was that Sky Dragon looped itself. I actually like the idea of looping 8 cards back in your deck one time. It feels very kind of weird.
You should probably explain what all the card did first, because I don't know if everybody knows that.
Okay. While we're going on, I'll go for more Alpha Skyweaver story time. So there was a card, the original design for Sky Phoenix, actually. It's the card that became Sky Phoenix. Originally had the ability where when it died, it would, and this was still in very early alpha, so everything was still very, just very testing. It was more about learning about cards and stuff. But anyway, so this card, what ended up happening was that when it died, it would shuffle back or put back your other 8 dead cards, one of each element, back into your deck. And it wasn't supposed to return itself, but in the patch that we initially got it did, which led to scenarios where it would just keep recycling itself along with 7 other cards. And as a result of that, it made the games go incredibly long and become incredibly wonky and weird. And so it was removed in the next patch and pretty quickly converted into the design for Sky Phoenix, where it could revive itself via dusting cards, which at first seemed kind of uninteresting, but later I started playing with it and we started testing it, and it was actually really fun. So that's kind of the story of how Sky Phoenix was born. But I still think that dragon that recycles things is an interesting kind of idea for wisdom, that sort of design, because it would actually allow wisdom to not focus on out of decking as much, and it's still very slow in terms of its overall game plan, because you put cards back in your deck, but you still gotta draw them and stuff. And often it could screw up. Do you really want to put a Rosewater charm back in your deck late game? So I actually think that in a more limited capacity, it could be a really cool card to try sometime in the future again. If
that card existed, I would play Wisdom.
It would be like a card that dusted itself to activate its effect, so you could not even loop it with heart tools. It'd be a one-time deal. You can get back the 8 cards of the elements that you want or whatever, and you still have to set it up properly, but it would let Wisdom win out of deck wars via not out of decking as much, which fits in with Wisdom's identity nicely, and means that Wisdom isn't so much RNGing its way to a victory as it is planning to reuse its critical cards very slowly by putting them back to deck. Kind of feels heart-ish as well, but it doesn't bring the cards back to hand the way that stuff like Managed Memory does, so I think it could fit into Wisdom at some point. It just seems like a fun design for Wisdom. It fits the ethos of Wisdom fairly well, and fits in with the rainbow strategy of Wisdom.
It's I like how Euphrat deck is just constantly reducing the effectiveness of the board.
No casket this game.
Wow.
No sir.
That was a pretty strong opening that foiled.
All of those units can be kind of easily removed. The question is how easily. Because Pyrocrafter, if he banners up with a unit that replaces itself, it'll probably take out the unit with it. Whereas Right Knight's going to have that fate, so unless he pulls out something like Whisk Away, or if he has a Spore Blast.
But right now he should prefer the fate to the ritual, I think.
Oh yeah, easily. Oh, if I had to, assuming... You might actually Plainsword the Right Knight with your face. And then ooh, that's a big block.
Such a terrible stally deck. Similar to a colder deck.
Okay, so we can punch through here. Ooh, Hot Doge, that's going to be huge. But he doesn't have the fire in hand, he played it all in his opening. Man, I like Hot Doge.
He's going to pull Fire Rune, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That would put him at 4. And 5/6, he'd have to make some play with Ritual.
Yeah.
Oh?
Why wouldn't you play Hot Doggy and then, of course, you won't get anything out of the Fire Rune for now.
Honestly, I probably would have gone with Hot Doge. Maybe he wants to conserve that, because, like, Hot Dodge Fire Rune is a very explosive play. You can get a lot done with
ritual
a Hot
and use
Dodge Fire
Hot Doge and then Fire Rune.
Zapida? Yep, Zapida for the refill. Or NASA, okay. That will fetch back the Bright Knight, which will get them bait going, but also,
Just
Whisk
eat
away.
whisk.
yeah, just gonna eat the whisk away. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Hey, you need to change the capture back to Skyweaver, I think. You're still on the rules thing.
Oh, wow.
Where
sorry
you,
about that, guys. Missed a good couple of minutes there. Sorry about that. I get too focused on the games. It's very tense.
It's okay. It's just another reason to make fun of dog pounding.
Can't handle the technical part.
The stream onto the dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See,
what,
you have the software to stream, and your streams are good quality, but you don't know how to. I actually know how to use Discord and stuff, but I just have a MacBook, so like it's all. As Gina Reno, how conveniently put it. I love this phrase. I probably say it too much, but it's like high quality plays, low quality streams.
What is this?
Coming down.
Yeah,
Well,
it
what do we think?
seems like he has ridden the storm. Is that what you say? Ridden the storm?
Rode out. There's definitely a time. Weathered the storm. That's
Weathered the storm. That's it.
term.
That's right.
That's the phrase. Yeah. Because Gina Reno's not really holding that much momentum in hand. He is packing a lot of chains. That's always fun. But Euphrat's about to draw. And
I'm just saying, it's I'm just saying that Fox Gang will. I'm not sure who really wins if Fox Gang manages to reverse sweep this using a Wisdom Heart deck.
Oh, then Wisdom is balanced.
Yeah.
Really
Paradox.
It's quite simple. Wisdom.
But aggro rights were not secured. Then what?
Hey, wait, I just realized something. If we do reverse, like, 3-0 here, Euphrat would go out, Worst would go out, Gina Reno would go out, and then either Hanu or Shapungo would go out. And the entire tournament would come down to a round between Alpha and Hanu.
Right.
It'll be aggro versus control. Or like aggro versus whatever new has, I guess.
Yeah, we're all kind of assuming he's not playing aggro, but I actually don't know.
Who is Hanu? Ain't no way Hanu's playing aggro. I will step on a Lego if Hanu is playing aggro. This is a tense situation. And now I'm actually, like, seriously wondering about that. I mean, assuming Euphrat goes all the way, which I believe in him, he very easily could. He is an amazing player. And, oh boy, he was grinding hard for this. Because now he's starting to wear down Gina Reno's health.
Yeah, I think Gina Reno completely lost the pace aspect, so will he be able to actually outvalue Euphrat? That seems unlikely.
Yeah. His Agi Heart deck is very good at generating value. You know, lot of ways, but I don't think he can really compete with just this amount of draw. And also the quality of Euphrat's removals.
I will say that if people genuinely want Wisdom to change, or the best way to convince me to change Wisdom is to play it. Like I've said before, you play it, and then I say, oh, this Wisdom card's too good, I can change it. But if everyone I'm getting like...
Yeah, that's what I did.
Huh?
Just... Oh yeah, the control summer.
Yeah. But currently I think people don't feel like playing Wisdom too much. Although it does seem like we're getting a good mix now, so I'm really happy, honestly. The meta seems super cool with all these different decks.
Yeah. Like, what all fun things do you do with Wisdom? Like, Prismata? I mean, that's kind
you
of...
can also run like Ant Whale decks, right? Like
Ant
Wisdom has a
Whale
lot.
is very fun to play. And all
See, I wouldn't do like that.
twist and turn shenanigans were fun too.
You can also build Rainbow. Like Wisdom has a lot of tools. It's very flexible.
Oh
You
yeah,
can also
Rainbow.
run Guru to discount things for like Molazam decks. Like Wisdom I really like because it's so diverse. That's why it's a Wisdom I really like alongside Heart. They were envisioned in the past, were once quoted as being support prisms potentially, which like were best at like supporting other prisms. I think Heart really works that way because Heart revives things, which is pretty excellent, and Heart itself actually lacks a huge amount of strong revival targets. Like it has Undragon and Hydrex at the top, but like Heart's stat pool is like the second worst in the game. Right above Intellect. Like the average unit stat pool for Heart is very low.
Which is why I play it with Strength. So I play like Opal Golem, and then I curve it into like a Polar Bear, and it's just good times.
That's what Heart really works well if it has another prism to team up, like depending on what prism it's chosen to team up with and what that prism offers it to work with as well.
We played the challenge with the mono Heart a little while back, and that was actually a lot of viable mono Heart decks on the ladder.
I think mono prism decks honestly are probably fairly good. Like it just you have to think about like how do I leverage the strengths, because I can't win 1-to-1 with like a dual prism deck if I try to fight them on equal. Like I try to fight them in the way they want to be fought.
Yeah. This is one of the things that vary from Hearthstone. Like if you would use something like 3 lashes on a unit in Hearthstone and it had a death effect that would proc, then it would actually not finish the spell. It would proc first and then finish the spell.
Yeah, so I can speak to that a bit actually. The way that sort of Skyweaver's design was designed to be more consistent, to make things easier to code and make it easier to anticipate how something would work, to make it more consistent. And so one of the parts of that was specifically that we took from Magic the Gathering we took inspiration from Magic the Gathering, and the fact that like in a game like Magic, unlike in Hearthstone, other cards' effects cannot trigger in the middle of another card's effect. So for example, something like Lashes, death effects of enemy units and like in fact enemy units being moved to the graveyard can only occur, I'm maybe butchering this, so Ari left tell me, they can only sort of occur like when Aura Update is checked, like after there's no effect currently resolving. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a little counterintuitive, but like based on stuff like Hearthstone, but it's consistent because no matter what the spell is and what it does, you can always know that your death effects will happen at the end of it.
Yeah, I feel like it makes perfect sense. It confuses players that come from Hearthstone. Yeah. But I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Generally, we do try to take effort to make our game like friendly to players who may have backgrounds in other games, though. So there are a number of considerations going into trying to make it so that backwards compatible knowledge can work with Skyweaver.
Okay, he is technically not dead, but only needs 2 damage to... that's lethal.
There we go.
Sky Phoenix. See,
Phoenix.
that's a good wisdom deck, because that's a wisdom deck that goes face.
It was secret. The real aggro deck was the face we hit along the way.
I mean, the irony of wisdom coming to the aid of the Fox Gang is just beautiful.
Hey, I think you guys are missing
Legolas and Gimli at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Is exclusively a me thing. That is not representative of the Fox Gang as a whole. Fox Gang welcomes wisdom players. We welcome all players. I personally do not like wisdom.
All right.
Because if it was Fox Gang official, then we wouldn't be able to pick up Ron or anybody. We kind of
So
need more people.
We are actually down to 2 versus 2 now.
Yep.
It's coming down to the wire.
Oh boy, you can say that again.
That is a scary deck he's running right now, Fred.
Mm-hmm. Okay, show us Hanu's aggro deck. I dare you. I dare you right now. Show us the Hanu aggro.
Let's see what they pick.
Also, why am I not playing Mighty Steed in my freaking Strength Heart deck? I really should.
Yeah, it got buffed recently. It was like fairly fragile for a 6-drop as a 2/5, or not fragile, but just low impact as just a 2/5. So I made it a little better. Maybe it's too good.
I wonder why it's not seeing more play. It's actually very strong.
I think it's just 'cause, like I've always said, there's so many good Skyweaver cards. Like unlike, there's no like one standout card. Like that's what I've been trying to do is make it so that every card is good, which maybe is is something that's never going to be truly possible. But I want to make it so like every card feels sort of moving, because in the past I know there were some cards that really felt like they were lagging behind, and others that felt like they were really far ahead. So sort of the goal, and I think it's been going pretty good. It feels like there's a lot of cards that don't see play. There's still some like Khan who are not great, but at least he's a 4/3 now instead of a 3/3. So.
Khan would be good if we like had main deck Songbird. Honestly, I think that's all it would take. Granted, main deck Songbird is busted as hell, but like if you really want to buff Khan, give me my bird back and then we'll talk. I will personally play Khan until it is like a high-ranked card just for you. Oh,
so Hanu is joining the chat. He's going to be screen sharing.
Hanu, I swear, if you're playing aggro, I will literally step on a Lego. I will go out to the store in the middle of this tournament. I will continue my commentary, but I will purchase a Lego set. And then I will drive all the way back home. I'll take off my shoes. I'll take off my socks, as you do. And I will take my big toe. And I will directly press it down into the pointiest Lego brick I can find if you are playing aggro.
I'm not playing aggro.
Aha! I knew it.
Yeah. Or...
The man is the embodiment of a wisdom player.
Okay, so this time I switched it back in due time.
See, we're learning. Innovations.
Does this mean that's not good though? I just heard wisdom player, and is Ufrat hasn't gone 3-0 yet, has he?
No.
So this is going to be a 20 plus game.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hanu is a king of value. Is going to.
Ooh, a voodoo doll in Hanu's deck by the look of it, though, so that's cool.
I feel like Voodoo Doll is actually a very good card. Doesn't see as much play as I would think.
See, but the deck that I currently run very much relies on being able to clean out my discard pile through Grave Royal, so that way I can ever more like a Vashiva and a Titanic in an uber late game.
Yeah.
My deck is actually built to beat and just bully stuff like Hanu's deck, because I can just constantly put down threats unchallenged in lifesteal and heal and armor, as you saw the other day when I was sitting at like 60 armored health.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like I remember that. Like that awkward time when I came into the voice chat and then it's like just Bacon sitting there complaining about Whisk Away while he's just like sitting on 30-point lethal.
It just made me worried if the healing Taze had come back, but I don't know, it feels like you got some hits in with a lifesteal unit to achieve that or whatever.
Many lifesteal hits.
Is Euphrat aware that the game's on?
Here, I'll message him.
Okay.
Spamming Gift of Ayas until you gain a bazillion life.
Yeah, like I said, with heart or like strength and heart healing, from like my personal experience with it, is very reactive, and that's why I always like really like having Dracomantium, because it gives me like not only a fun deck building condition, it also gives me a way where I can basically improve one of my weaknesses, which is if I get that armor, at worst that improves all of my healing by 1 point, which is huge. And at best, like it can just absolutely steal games away. They just can't get through.
If you looked at like the actual value of hero armor, I'd estimate it heals somewhere in the range of it like can possibly double your life total in a lot of cases. Just because the amount of 1 damage chips that it removes from the equation from like zomboids or getting poked by the enemy hero or stuff like that.
Right.
The reason that the change didn't scare me too much was when I really thought about it. I'm like, the amount of times where someone actually has an answer to hero armor in the form of chains is pretty low. It's like most of the time people just have to duke it out, and now we could actually print more hero chaining effects because it's not as brutal, so we could toss more of them around to give outs, temporary outs at least.
Yeah.
We can print some more mimic type stuff in the future too.
Oh yeah. Because like you also gave me as the person like more counterplay options. Because like now I can play Polar Bear, and then whenever I like use my Grave Roll, that takes off the chains. That gives me an option I can run to counter it, or I can choose not to. I like games that are very like back and forth, where it's very much about how you're using the cards and less about what cards you have. I just think that makes better games.
That's what out of deck is, though.
Okay, no, out of deck is entirely dependent on what cards you draw. Like, because if you draw a Father and I draw a Tiamat, I'm sorry, buddy, I'm stealing your mana.
Yeah. I think out of deck, in small amounts, is a pretty healthy and fun mechanic that adds some variance. I think that when it turns into, as long as you don't go more than like, I'd say like the limit is if you go more than 10 cards out of deck, it's probably devolved into a total nightmare, total clown.
But why? I'm not going to open this discussion again. But it would make sense for me if after 10 or something you would start adding more damage, adding more penalty.
Yeah, we could do that. That if something could happen, it's an extra rule which is not presented anywhere in game. And Skyweaver already has a lot of rules, some of which, like the whole action of out of decking, which are sort of opaque. So I am very leery about adding extra rules to Skyweaver, that's all. I'm trying to streamline the rules as one of my main focuses. So we could totally do that. But my thinking is that if I'm doing a like good job, then people should ideally not be out of decking that deep anyways. Like ideally the design and the level of like threats that are given and which will allow people to end the game in more quick manner and more quick manner, I guess is the word. We'll make it so that ideally you don't go that deep, or by the time you're going that deep, the game is wrapping up naturally on its own. Because I do think that out of deck
has like managed to pull Bad Dreams on like one of the first turns in like every game.
He has, but he's really shown the value of the card.
Oh yeah, it's a good card.
I tried to make a deck with Bad Dreams. The problem was it was during the time when and it felt pretty good. Like it saves you a lot of health. It may be kind of silly actually, but the thing about Bad Dreams is it was right when my experience with it was right when Blaze of Glory cost 5 and had just come out, and so Blaze of Glory kind of took Bad Dreams and slapped it across the room, and called it a joke.
That's why you nerfed it.
Well, I just was thinking about it. I mean, at 5 mana, Blaze of Glory was absurd. Like,
what? I have no clue what you were talking about.
It was a little absurd.
But also, at 6 mana, it's kind of just way too slow. It's kind of stuck in an awkward spot for what it does.
yeah. I mean, what I was thinking is I could leave it at 5 mana and have it not boost attack or not give lifesteal, but then it kind of feels weird. Yeah. Maybe I should take a second look at that.
Maybe just give the unit like +1/+1 on top of the quest.
That's 6. Yeah, maybe. You could try. I think Blaze may be one of those cards where it's more like people haven't used it enough and figured it out rather than the card actively being bad.
Oh no, I have tried like crazy to get that card to work. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason that like after the nerfs still saw any play, at least at the higher levels, but no, I really want to play it because like Fox card, and I'm always like, give me more Fox cards. And then like you guys actually give more Fox cards for some reason. I have no clue why you listen to me. I have no ability to make threats, but anyways, I asked for more Fox cards. No, I don't like them.
I don't know about the banner. I feel like it's not effectful enough. Every game, like when you think about it, it should be really, really strong, the Anointed Flame, but I just feel like it rarely has enough of an impact.
Yeah. I don't know.
The thing is, the Anointed Flame loses you so much tempo initially, and I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it puts Hanu in a better situation, though, because +1 damage every turn, I think... Let's watch and see if Hanu manages to win, because that +1 damage each and every turn may, in a grindy game like this, it may not be visible how impactful it is, but it's very possible Hanu might win off of that alone. Like it's a mirror matchy thing, so it'll be interesting to see how the damage piles up over time.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the places to actually play it in these really, really long value games.
We also need to consider we're getting up into like these really, really high mana states now, and we don't know what's in Euphrat's hand, but Hanu's hand is like, or never mind. I was about to say it like it's entirely just removal, and then he draws Libra, but that doesn't
Libra
even
doesn't actually heal him now. He's going for
the aggressor here.
Aggro with the Wisdom Heart deck.
I've often played Libra as just a 7-mana 7/7.
It was the only real play he could do.
Return it to heart. This is a threat.
Yeah.
Let me recur my Libra in my Strength Heart deck, and I will suddenly be much better at healing.
Ufrat's deck may be greedier than Hanu's deck, though. Because in these kind of matches, it's often the greedier deck that wins, so we'll have to see.
He's running
Hanu has a
I
big
don't know if Hanu is.
Yeah, Euphrat is still at 27 health.
Yeah.
But again, they're probably going to be playing through the entire prism anyway. Prisms.
Oh boy.
Good point. Yeah, those 2 Gifts of Aya alone just make up 10 points of healing. Jikinsu is another 8. It's 18 healing just from 3 cards. And also, do not underestimate the ability of deck thinners in this type of matchup. Just being 1 card ahead of your opponent whenever you get to the out of deck wars can be huge advantages.
Is Ufrat gonna overdraw? No.
I don't remember. You still burn the top card, right? Yeah. You can dust the Jikinsu.
Oh, that's huge.
It's expensive, but that would still be Jikinsu.
That's huge. To get Burb there. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All his problems are now fixed.
I'd say really the big play there was getting rid of that Jikinsu, because now he can't like Jar Soul for it. He can't Second Chance, which he could have fetched off Light.
Oh, the Mummy Mask took. Did it take Jack? Was there nothing higher cost than Jack? Because Mummy Mask takes.
Oh, the hit Jikinsu.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably pretty big. Oh, boom.
Big moon. Probably the best time he was going to get for that moon. Of course, not knowing that like he's holding a Soul Shepherd, which has Flock attached for some reason. You know, he could have pulled a Libra off that Wish deck. He did. That would be hilarious.
He's probably running Libra already, though, which means he can't conjure it off which deck.
Probably. I wouldn't put him past it. Or I wouldn't put it past him to be crazy enough to not play Libra, though. Sometimes Euphrat just does weird things and they work way too well. It irritates me.
Both of them
That's
think
why
a lot about ODing on purpose. Like, not playing cards that they know they're going to OD anyway.
Oh, yeah. Like, literally, don't play Undragon in your Wiz Heart Grave Royal deck because you can just Grave Royal and fetch it with Giza.
Right.
Yeah. That's a pretty...
You can play it in Hydrex, and then you can fetch Amarath. Or you can play it in Amarath, fetch Hydrex with your Grave Royal, and then after Hydrex dies, you can use the Vipers to res either Amarath or Hydrex, depending on where the ships fell.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, that was part of my incentive for nerfing Giza, because I knew how good it was at just out-of-decking Undragons, because I would do that all the time. It's
we need to start a tracker for like card frequency for Giza out of deck. That'd be fun to watch, but like not in a serious way. Ooh, he got some good pulls. Katie Mask will help fix his hand because he's kind of just sitting on removal.
He will get Flock back if he returns to Soul Ship, right?
No, Take Flight gives Shroud.
Oh, Shroud, right.
Oh, hey, I'm checking out in the chat right now. I am worse said, I'm going to go do the dishes. Be back in 30 minutes when both players are at 40 health.
Yeah. And the worst part is we know that is actually very likely.
Plausible. See, I would have actually tried to hold off on playing Gift of Aya there. Because Gift of Aya will out of deck your M-Twale, which will out of deck 2 more units. And it's just value. Of course, he needed the banner, so I guess he kind of had to. But it would have been helpful to get M-Twale out of deck. Ooh, he would have had to wait for a while anyways. So we get a look there. He is playing... He's got the Undergrowth, he's got the Scorpio. Unfallow's in there. But doesn't he also play Mummies? No, he just has the one. He doesn't do the full Vishnifa Raise Arms package. Which would honestly probably help him out a lot because of that disruption. Yeah, see, you're right there. Up, and he dusted Songbirds. Never mind. Oop. Is he going to go for the combo?
Yeah. Pretty sweet combo on the growth. And...
Yeah, Scorpio makes 11. So he could actually burn to a crisp also. Ooh, or he's not going to go for it yet.
No.
Giving himself chains. That's interesting. He can get his banner back, but he'll have to find a way to override it. And he doesn't go for the Scorpio combo. Just sets up his fate. Does he have it? Oh, right. He has full bloom too.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going for the more aggressive.
He could have made a further wombo combo playing all three.
Turn 15, we are at 32 health. Yeah, some fun facts. Honestly, this has not been a bad game. They've been fun to watch. Up, Sentry Key. Hey, yo, hold up. Let me just make my entire hand removal.
Watch, he's going to play all those cards, and one of them's going to be Montage, and he's going to burst for like 24 damage in the enemy face. It's coming.
Maybe the real aggro deck was the montage we found along the way. Hey, wait. Prismata, then Orchid, then Century Key. And then you just play all of that, and then you cry because you had to wait until like turn 20 to do that combo. Yeah, that's a lot of banner. Face, 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 face. No! He could have gone face with all of that damage. Instead, he held board. Oh, wait. Hey, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing here?
I don't know. What are you saying?
I'm seeing a Undergrowth, Jar Souls. But first, ram your units into that.
Well, this should be. Oh no, he's 1 mana short.
Jackal will get the banner back.
Oh my god, the greed.
Greed.
And by greed, I mean just how Wisdom Heart is played.
Honestly, Euphrat probably clears this though, even with the Shroud. What'll be interesting is I'm pretty sure Euphrat will have Royal, so he really doesn't want Jacko to snag that.
Yeah.
That would be
Jacko
bad
can
news.
be so disruptive.
Yeah, I used to play Jacko in my Strength Heart deck. That was not wise.
No.
No, not at all.
But he's a great card, but it makes him hard to play in a lot of decks.
Yeah.
You get those Grey Royals and Jar of Souls at times you don't want him.
Yeah.
Screen is frozen. Nope. I'm back.
Euphrat, don't lose your turn, buddy. Euphrat, tell me you played something.
Oh, that would be the worst if
oh no.
If somebody loses due to disconnect.
Oh no.
So I wonder if this is Hanoo's stream or if...
Oh, yeah, it's more likely for it to be Hanoo's stream.
Can you text him?
Euphrat, yeah.
No, Hanoo. It's because if I go into Discord chat, I'll leave this window.
Yeah. Okay, message is sent. Just waiting. And now a quick word from our sponsors. Raid Shadow Legends.
Okay, black screen. And what? I don't know if Hanoo runs any win conditions really, but we know Euphrat can. Yeah, the win condition is to death.
Hydrax. They're all just joking about the numbers. Well, it sounds like we've gotten back, but... Oh, yeah, internet troubles.
And, for whom?
Hanoo, apparently.
Oh, did he lose a turn?
I don't know. I have no clue what happened because we don't have the action bar either.
Oh, I hope he didn't lose a turn.
No, it would appear to be Euphrat's turn. Oh, Jakensu is helpful. Wow, that was very Texan, the enunciation. Sorry, y'all. Sometimes it just slips out and like you can't control it. Don't know.
Oh, just one more banner.
Here in Canada, or at least I catch myself saying A more than I'd like to admit. Talked to a guy from Australia once just on Facebook, and he's like, I was explaining what A meant because he didn't really understand it. I'm like, it's kind of like requesting confirmation. It's like you say, "I'll see you later, eh?" and whatever. And he's like, it's like pronouncing a question mark. And I thought that was probably the most accurate representation of the term "a" I've heard. It's the sound a question mark makes.
Okay, so I used to
There's
never say
frozen
hell,
again.
like ever. Like it's just not a word that like was commonly used for me or anybody in my family or anybody at school. But the college
Which
I go
word?
to, the like, official greeting is howdy. It's Texas A&M, and it's like we
Howdy.
are the Texas College. We are Texas, and now like I just say it way more often, and like it works. It's good. But, like I'm concerned of what's changed because I don't know.
Okay, can you text Hanu again? See if it's frozen or what happened. Oh, he's reloading.
Yep, green screen. That's not a good sign.
That is some mighty fast typing going on there.
Yeah, I just told Hanu, try to keep the game going even if the stream dies. To redo this would be awful.
Yep.
Tasty.
I also kind of slam my keys when I type. I don't really type gently. You just hear this all black room. All that. Friends complain about it whenever I study with them. Of course, I listen to music, so they're like, ah, and I'm like, what?
Okay, we're back up.
And we've made it to turn 20!
And
Or is it
Yeah.
turning
Like
What do you
Sapungo
like?
said, that's rookie numbers.
rookie numbers?
Yeah, boy.
Hope he can clear that sloth. That might be a problem. Whose turn is it? Oh, it's not even his turn.
He's like having a panic attack because he lost his Shikinsu. Oh, we can infer from the forensic evidence that he played an Albane and then played Take Flight on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Up. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, now we got all the shenanigans.
Oh boy.
Wow. Oh,
we're going
the combo.
to-
Okay, so did he actually? Did
I would
you
guess
said that there would be no removal for this? If you know Hanu, there's a good chance that he actually counted the possible removals. I mean, he already played Doomsday, didn't he?
Shoot, I don't know.
I think he did.
Rule for number one of wisdom: there's always another piece of removal.
Yeah, it's Waterline. I was just going to say it.
Yes, there's always more.
Wow, incredible value on Waterline.
Oh my, look at his hand. It's got an Octavian in there. And Hanu is holding an Undragon.
I think Giza just got that.
Huh. Was this foreshadowing? Man, this tournament has been lit. Also, fun fact, we've been streaming this for like 3 hours now. And I'm still amped.
For how long?
3 hours.
All right.
It's 5. I am.
It's running a little longer than our usual streams.
And this was like best of 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing best of 3. Wow.
Look at that reshuffle. Out of deck, not out of deck.
To be honest, I think it has not actually been that long in game time, but there was like some trickiness getting people to connect early on, which
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true.
I don't think the actual time spent in games has been that long. So if it was best of 3, it probably wouldn't actually be 3 times as long. It might be like 1.5 times as long.
Despite making up, like, hang on, let me do some quick math. Despite making up 1/6 of the decks, Heart, Wisdom, Mirrors consume 50% of the match time.
Yeah.
Wow, this if
And
either
he does find
way, you know,
Octane.
Wisdom Mira is over after this. It's going to be a refreshing move to aggro whatever happens.
And then he draws. I was secretly rooting for the Octavian just to see like the Octavian versus the Octavian.
It's kind of crazy that he just kind of leaves that sloth on the board. He doesn't seem to mind.
Yeah.
Past a certain point, the discounts like don't matter. Like they have so much mana already that like
Yeah, true.
it's not like he's gonna get from hand killed by a combo, presumably, because Wisdom doesn't have burst damage. That's one of Wisdom's like things. Is it really doesn't have any way to buff onboard units usually. Like, Poet is like is one of the few ways, and it does have a whole lot of direct damage burn, like just some very small burn spells. So
he's not that worried about him fudding the board or anything. Plus, he has Allbane.
yeah, that's the thing. He's kind of daring him to overcommit to the board.
Yeah.
It's like if you overcommit to the board, I can clear it. So
Here, what all possible targets does he have to res off of the Undragon? Scorpio?
Scorpio, maybe.
Yeah, Scorpio, yeah.
He doesn't really have too many big units.
Yeah, he doesn't want to use it for the Allbane for sure. So, I guess Scorpio, yeah. But Scorpio has a lot of value.
I imagine Hanu is just thinking back right now. I remember when this card used to be busted, and he plays and it's like it does next to nothing. Whoa, wait. Insomnia to kill the sloth?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get rid of it so it doesn't fill up his hand.
I guess.
Oh, here we go. It's happening. The montage combos.
The real aggro is the montage we found along the way.
Oh, he could actually do something if he made a little more room actually for Songbirds with Flock. Could have dealt like some respectable damage.
Token aggro. Token aggro.
He could have actually dealt some pretty respectable damage with a montaged up song like Flock.
Yeah. Maybe he just didn't want to like think about it. And also like all of those units dying are going to be draws off a Soul Shepherd. At this point in the game, you probably don't want cards in your hand going back into your deck. Yeah, old fogey. Mushroom Gang, where are we at? No, seriously, where is Marcelo?
Yeah, is he in the chat? No,
I don't know. I've been trying to watch it. I don't think I... I won't... Please.
That Lost in the Fog is potentially a good way to punch through that Doomshroom. Hello.
Yeah, but does he want to use it for that, though? Because that's a very, very valuable piece. Yep, I guess so. Oh, Dust is Neferti, too. He doesn't want to do that. And if it didn't have the shield, he could, like, kill it first. And then he could second chance for it.
I see.
Oh, he's going to res the Soul Shepherd? No, he's just
here
it's
I think
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
But it is crazy value.
Despite Euphrat being so in control of the board, he's never really put up much of his own the entire game.
Yeah, his deck is greedy.
Yeah. He's also at like 25 mana now. And I'm pretty sure he still hasn't used Grave Royal.
Is it possible to just empty both prisms? So you can't draw?
There ain't no way.
It's possible, but you'd take 170 damage in the process. So you would need enough life to counteract that.
So basically, we revert Avatar of Light up, Doomsday.
Whoa, that's a lot of draw. Well, actually, it just overwrites the...
Yeah, the Fate.
See, this is what we need.
Brood Witch!
You know it's
And
going
the
to survive.
And Brood Witch will clean that up.
There are no survivors.
HydroX is pretty strong at this point.
Yeah, until it gets dusted by Brood Witch.
What are you doing? I'm confused.
Not dusting
Why?
it, apparently.
What? I guess all
Okay.
I guess that works. Maybe it's like no, that makes sense. Like that's fair. It seemed a little odd at first, but I don't think it's that bad. Like it looks kind of odd. Oh, he got the master plan. Yeah, he's got the master plan here. There we go.
Yeah.
The train never ends.
No, so much draw.
The road never ends. The
He's
road
getting to a
end.
point where he could out of deck Grave Royal or Prismata. And that infuriates me. Like, legitimately, think about what happens if he just manages to out of deck his way into getting Grave Royal. That's what he gets another Giza proc. Gets another. That'll get him either Hydrex or Amarath. He'll get some healing. He'll get a bit of draw.
Honestly, if he Grave Royals Ufret, or if HanooStreet's board gets Grave Royaled, there is a decent chance that, like, if he doesn't draw something good off of the, like, fates, that he could just die. Like, he has no removal left. That I count, at least. Yeah, but the Brood Witch is a good single target removal. The Grave Royal will summon, like, snakes and shit. Or stuff.
Right.
And stuff. I did not say that. Snakes and stuff.
Snakes and
It'll summon snakes and stuff to
that's what I
clog
heard.
up.
Haha, mind control.
It's actually
And then
getting
Hades-
down to a reasonable level here of options.
He's got Jar! No.
Here comes again.
Wow.
Oh my, you are.
Oh, he's going to jar it before Boogie Woogie?
Oh, that's interesting.
And he's holding Touch the Sky.
I wonder what Ufred has at this point.
Grave Royal.
I mean, he already Prismata, right?
No, I think that was the other game.
Okay, so he has a chance of refilling the hand.
Let
Nice.
me just steal your removal real quick. Up, Ether Whale.
Let's see what we get. Oh, wow. Value.
Out of deck, Libra.
He wasn't playing it.
Ufred is freaking like.
What do you think about Touch
is-
the Sky and then Brood Witch?
I guarantee you, Ufred is steaming right now. Like, oh no, I am not going down, and you are not taking me out. He is Heart of Cards, like sheer force of will, pulling that Libra out of his deck.
My God, if Brood Witch tried
That's
this.
Oh, it's cool to see.
Yes.
Yeah, the Brood Witch is coming down now.
Yeah, but he needs to be able to protect it too. He wants to.
Maybe-
clean that game.
Is that what you say? Brood
Hang on.
Witch?
Hang on.
No way, he's not getting to 100.
No way.
I feel like
Don't
you.
do it. Don't do
Oh,
it.
what?
He can invest the Brood Witch, can't he?
Yeah, he could.
Real gamer hours over here. Oh my god. My thought was like to play Broodwitch touch this guy and then use Invest to heal yourself back up, but sure. The 15
Grave
HP
Royal.
Broodwitch.
Euphrat, show me your Grave Royal. Please. Please show me Grave Royal.
He hasn't yet, so he must have it.
Surely he plays it. It has to be in his deck. Like, he's got Vashiva and Ray's Arms. Why would he not have Grave Royal? He has to have it.
I saw them playing against each other earlier today. I think they might know. Oh, wow. It's still value, but, I mean...
The value. Okay.
He got his return. It got return on investment.
Yeah.
The invest effectively got converted into a face invest.
I can't be mad about that joke. That's too funny. Hey, he could touch the sky and then play Libra.
He could.
Oh,
But it doesn't really matter. The extra banner. Oh, the banner stack? No, it doesn't.
You can thank Coulter for that mechanic, and I will, because, my god, it should not stack.
What banner?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Oh,
a
hero
banner on the
banner.
hero,
Yeah. Just like any other type of banner. Yeah, it can't be stacked because you can only have one instance of a keyword on a character. Yeah.
This reminds me that
That wasn't my
we
doing.
used
That
to
was
play
always the way
Nakamoto.
it worked.
Euphrat used to run Nakamoto, so he's very accustomed to
Credit for that.
playing OD wars.
Oh yeah, Euphrat has shown me the depths of prisons before. Haha, Hydrex. And so now
Still
we need
gets,
to, like,
yeah, he can touch this guy after he's frozen.
what?
Wow.
What happened?
You're kidding me.
Oh, oh no. Oh no.
Why? Dear. At least at this point, Frost Adept won't really be able to freeze anything. Like, okay, I am re-evaluating my thoughts on Wisdom. Coulter, I need help.
I see it, Hanu. He's like wiggling his finger at 84 cards engraved.
Yeah.
I'm praying to the Fox Overlords right now. Church of Smork, grant us strength. Yeah, that's just more value for Henry.
Yeah.
And that's
It's getting close.
No.
It makes sense.
How many revives do you think he has on that?
There's got to be at least 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Nah, I'm thinking 5. Okay, Euphrat. Show me the Grave Royal.
Yeah.
Please.
If you have it, now would be the time. Like, it doesn't even matter to punch that Phoenix anymore. Wow.
No.
Holy, that was 2 masters of patience, OD, and value.
I am actually kind of crushed.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell during that game or in games like that to actually see who's ahead, who's winning here. And maybe that anointed flame actually did value out all at the end.
Yeah. I will say that by the end, I feel like Phoenix was a lucky pull, but I do think that Ufrat was already a bit ahead.
Yeah,
at that point.
Hanoo was. You mean?
Like if it was a Muruath or whatever, it probably would have had a similar effect.
But
although then again,
run from Ufrat.
Out of decking Sky Phoenix always feels a little goofy. I have actually considered in the past some sort of mechanic where specific cards can't be out of deck, like something called like Genesis or something I thought of at one point.
I think that's one of the things that Freud has been mad about so long, that it's just the differences in the OOD pulls. It's just you can play a perfect game, but if he gets Floodwater and you get a 1/1 cost unit, it's just there's too much randomness to it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward now. I guess you're picking AlphaSapphireX?
Yep. He's our anchor. Haha! Water puns.
So this time for sure it's going to be, will he be able to punch through Wisdom, Heart, or not?
If there was anybody we were going to have who was going to be able to punch through Hanoo's unbeatable defense, it's got to be the Master of Smork.
It has to, yeah.
It's going to be Alpha. If anybody can do it, it's him. And after those games, I am reverting my position on Wisdom. Ban the Prism. Ban it. No, gone, out. Sayonara. Hasta la vista. Presto. Oh, but leave the fire cards. The fire cards are cool.
So I guess Hanoo is going to continue streaming.
Yeah.
So it's all about Alpha just joining that Foxdog private game, and we got our possible final. This is going to be nerve-wracking.
I'm pretty excited. I want to see how this goes.
Yeah, Alpha says he's going to win, so sorry guys.
Let's see this. AlphaSapphire's deck can put out a huge amount of pressure.
We'll see.
It's like watching a boxer versus a grappler or something. It's just the strategies are so clear. It's really just who gets their game plan working. So Alpha, is he falling for something?
I think he just had search on my sync, I don't know. Yeah, Foxes are still winning this. And even if we lose, like I've said, we still win, because Freud is Fox King. We are all Freud. Therefore, everyone is Fox King. Even your grandfather is Fox King. And Therefore, the Fox Gang wins. They're just facts.
Well, I can't argue with that.
I mean, you really can't.
I think the whole game plan was just to play Euphrat, just to wear Hanu down, just bore him for 80 rounds, and then
Was to
switch
break his
tempo
concentration,
right
he'll
into Alpha.
misplay.
Yeah, just mentally, we just had to mentally defeat Hanu. We just had to like age him a couple years.
Yeah.
One game.
Now you know his mindset is all about the value game and not really thinking about just defending face.
Oh, I don't know if you'd be able to defend face anyways. Alpha is the champion at Smork.
Indeed.
You're my new god. What are we looking at?
What is that?
It's like HanooStreet showing at Turf Wars communication.
Out of deck wars, all skill, no luck. All skill. All skill.
I mean, to be fair, looking at it from a certain angle, if both players out of deck like 30 cards, it wraps back around to being skillful because the amount of what is it? Like RNG goes down as you draw more random draws.
Well, even then, it's
I'm
not
not-
just the cards; it's the order you get them in.
Yeah. Still fine tuning to be done.
I see all the messages of people panicking when I did what showing the right screen. Switch the screen.
Yeah, so I compared with Euphrat now. He actually doesn't run Grave Royal.
No.
Says his deck really.
Well, we know he doesn't run Grave Royal because we didn't see it for 80 rounds.
Yeah. But like, that's just an alien concept to me. Like, not playing Grave Royal. Why would you do that?
So, do you know why AlphaSapphireX is still stalling?
Because when you're in Wisdom, your resource generation abilities are like a dime a dozen. Like in Strength Heart, it matters more to run Grave Royal as a big draw, but Wisdom has a bunch of those, I would imagine, is his thinking.
Yeah. Or hear me out. You play them both, and you draw all of the cards. Like, all of the cards.
Yeah.
And then you die from 170 points of out-of-deck damage.
I actually think that game is largely defined. Like the out of deck draw that I will stand as mattering the most was the which I actually mentioned was the burb, which gave him the Soul Shepherd, which gave him like 100 cards.
Yeah, that did.
That just ran away.
It may be that certain value generation options for Wisdom need to be made more limited in their scope, similar to the healing ones, because they're very spammable. Like if Scorpio's effect was a play effect, or if Soul Shepherd didn't exist.
Oh.
Although I'm not planning on like deleting Soul Shepherd, but some
Yeah,
of those
is such a weird card anyway. I mean, it's
Yeah, why does it come with Flock other than Flavor?
It's a very old card. Like that's the thing. I did not really have a hand in building that one. It's a pretty fun one. That card was actually existed in Alpha.
Alpha is waiting on Hanu, he says, and Hanu says he's in queue, so something's wrong.
The last game short-circuited the server.
It should be Doc Fox.
Yeah. I swear, do people not know that it doesn't matter if you're joining or starting?
Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I've tried it before. It does not matter.
To be fair, I wasn't 100% sure on that. I suspected it, but I never tested it.
This looks like we might have a match. See, these guys know how to build up suspense. Dealing with pros here. And Hanu, if you could go ahead. Oh, you can't hear me. It's always good to press F11 full screen if you're not on Mac. In which case you should throw it out the window and then buy a PC and then press 11. Wait, Alpha is playing Fox?
Fox?
Yep.
What the heck?
Yep. Fox gang. Let's go.
I knew you would have some kind of surprise for us. I bet you guys been drilling that game that deck a million times.
Been drilling it against Euphrat. And I'm pretty sure he's been winning too. Of course, against this hand, I gotta say this.
Oh, that is such a
Less than ideal.
strong voodoo doll. So much value on that one, and even the burn to a crisp. Wow, great answers.
They do have a good answer though. That chomp.
Yeah, that's true. But it forces a chomp.
Nah,
No, but it's silent.
You know what he pulls off on Taro?
Grunk.
Yep.
Is it a 5/4 shroud grunk?
That'd be correct. Chainstorm is an answer.
Yeah, I think it's the answer.
First. Oh, no.
If I tried to platinum, they would just like crack.
Yeah, but he's still lost board. His resources are grinding down.
Yeah, none of those cards really come online until really late in the game. Hey, it's the Fox! We got the Fox!
Oh, that's not good.
Sign. That's a good sign. We're gonna win this. No.
Oh,
No. Stop. What are you doing? Stop. Coulter, why? Coulter, why?
He's still in this. He's got options. I take no responsibility for HanooStreet top deck. A really good card. That was not on me. Also, I feel like there was a better play there. You could have Earth Rune.
Oh, this is already a massacre. It's going to be very, very hard to keep up the pressure now.
Yeah.
And he has so much value in hand. So many good answers. Well, it doesn't really have any removal, but just board.
Yeah, Claw Swipe here would be pretty cool. And maybe like an Earth Rune Fire. Oh! Ooh. That's too expensive for Claw Swipe to come out, but one other piece of removal would get him to convert with the Fox. No! The Fox! No!
I'm wondering what's in his hand. It just feels like some of the plays are kind of clunky. He's floating like a bunch of mana every turn. What has he got?
I don't want to spoil it. That Rumbo, no. Because even if he answers that Rumbo with Chomp, we're at turn 11 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to.
He could have traded Cookbook into it and hit it with Gale Chop for 2 mana to silence it and kill it.
Yeah,
There were
would have
options.
been another option. Yeah.
Hey, wait. GoodDog, make sure that they can see the game.
Oh no!
Why is he floating so
Oh,
much
no.
mana? I'm like,
That
what's going on?
was worst possible time.
Yeah, Fabic just messaged me. Cole or GoodDog. They need the stream.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry. That's twice.
Hey. Oh, wait, Grandpa, what are you doing in here? Get out. Get out. GoodDog, can they see it now?
Hey, they can see it now, but it's they lost a lot of valuable time. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah. God. Okay, so this deck, it's an anima deck, obviously. The thing is that it plays very few units for an aggro deck. It runs like Grunk, Mishka, Huntaro, Skeeter, and then it plays Garuda and Rumbu. And I think that's it. What it does is it just gets like these really crazy openings with like a Grunk bait, and then you play out like Mishka Windsword, and then you usually just like win off of that. Mamba is also just so threatening that whenever you run like all of that, you can just really support huge Mamba plays.
That
But
was
the issue, as y'all
crazy
saw,
value he
is that the
just
deck
got.
is exhausted. Yeah, that game is over. Alpha plays Wrath, and he has Burninate, but neither of those answer. And at this point, Alpha literally does not have the units in the deck to really break back in. As for your comments about the mana culture, I imagine what happened is that he bricked. Because this is a deck.
And now that you explain the other parts, it makes more sense to me why he didn't have plays. I was unsure. I was like, why does he have nothing to play? He's an aggro deck, right? Why is he floating like 3 mana like 4 times? I'm so confused. That was.
But
See, he was debating between this deck or the Maya deck, but he went with this. And honestly, I still stand by that decision. I don't think the Maya deck would have been able to break through Hanoo's defense. Yeah, at this point. Like, he's also looking at Lethal on board, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Gusto's new. I did not see Gusto when we were testing it together. Yeah. Another thing, Speed Boots Mamba. Well, I didn't really say anything when he played the Mamba on, like, turn 3. But Mamba generally was supposed to, like, clinch out that game. Darn.
we had thought about making like whoever is at the end, the final one, have 2 games, so it's best of 3 kind of situation. But again, that would just kind of incentivize putting the best player at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do think the rules need to be revised for, like, the future tournaments. Because looking back on this, we should probably have, like, where the deck lists are open for the people to, like, look at with each other after they've been submitted.
Mm-hmm.
Since right now there's kind of skew in favor of the player who did not stream. Although how tangible that skew is, who knows? It may not have even mattered.
I think that having the deck list revealed beforehand would be a good idea. So
Yeah.
people know what they need to play around or not.
Yeah, because that's a big part of the game.
Yep.
Like honestly, I have a lot of fun.
This
just
does it.
getting-
They reveal their decks to add more skill to the game by letting people know what they need to consider.
Yeah. Instead
Yeah.
of just getting surprised.
It does kind of remove the option to make like fun surprise decks.
True.
He's not completely. Yeah. he
Yeah,
is.
yes.
Yeah, that was a dominant win. Wow.
That was.
It's a shame that we didn't
Yeah,
really
that
get to
was
see the deck work as it was intended. And I'm really, really sorry that you didn't get to see a lot of the game in general. Definitely, I need to improve on some stuff for the next one. But yeah, let me just update that latest graphic.
Congratulations to Hanu for putting up amazing games.
Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
believe he still had that in him
Combined
after that
100
first one.
wins. Hey, should we maybe see if like we could get Hanu on here? Maybe like a little post-round interview?
Yes, let's do that. He's in
That would be-
here already, isn't he? We didn't even get to see Safungo's deck. Running a really cool city deck.
Yeah, that's the one I kept ragging on.
Is that the tree smash one?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Hanu. All right, so I'm gonna take that one away and then put that one back up.
Hey, GoodDog, you just want to look at the chat real quick.
You want me to look at the chat?
In here. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry. Okay, there we
There we
go.
go.
So, Hanu, dude, congratulations. Crazy games. How you feeling?
That was pretty great.
I saw you playing Euphrat earlier on ladder. Was that the same matchup?
What?
I saw on ladder that you played Euphrat earlier today. Was that same matchup?
I don't remember that game, but I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, you've actually kept that deck secret until today, haven't you?
That deck was from the time in Control Summer, where I went to Grand League with 58 games.
Right, right. Yeah, I remember that one. It was like 94% or something?
98% win rate.
98. Wow. That's insane. Yeah, I really wouldn't want to play against that deck. It's just, yeah, it kills your will.
Yeah.
But,
What were you thinking? You started seeing the like out of deck draws as like the first game with Euphrat drug out. Like, were you feeling like you were gonna clinch it, or did you think that Euphrat was gonna take that?
I have no idea. It really depends on what you draw from out of deck. And I do think I got a lot better out of deck draws than he did.
Yeah.
Still, very solid game.
But like the 4 Albanes and 3 Scorpios, 2 Soul Shredders, that was just more value.
Yeah. Easily.
But I think without further ado, I have a little extra graphic I want to put up here. So there we go. Let's just all sit there and enjoy that graphic for a second. Almost like a moment of silence here.
Hey, remind me. Who made that graphic?
Yeah, we definitely need to make a shout out to Koi GG's for making all the graphics for Sky Streamers in general. He made the graphics for everything today as well. Just awesome stuff, putting in a lot of effort every time. I have a little other graphic I want to show here because he also does streaming, so be sure to watch his streams every Monday. So right the day
Cool guy.
after we the Sky Streamers stream. So yeah, be sure to catch that one too. But yeah, and enjoy all the graphics because he's just such a great art director.
Mhm.
And
Much for that.
another thing that we need to do.
Say, like,
yeah.
GoodDog, before we break, I just want to say congratulations to you and your team. You guys put up an amazing fight. I'll be coming for vengeance next time, so you better be prepared.
Oh, I am sure there's going to be more wars to fight, and I would have to say I'm very, very impressed with the Fox Gang and how much of a fight they put up. I mean, watching the roster for this game, these amazing players we have from Dog Pound Gang, I thought, well, and we have to say you didn't have Freud, which would be probably one of your very, very strong cards as well. So yeah,
I was just bannered all over Hanu probably.
I don't know, but I guess we're gonna have to see some other time if he decides to join. But I have to say both teams just played amazing games. So it was so fun to watch, and there's so much to learn from watching Hanu and Euphrat just squeeze every ounce of value out of that game. That was very, very impressive stuff. Yeah, and thank you very, very much, Coulter, for joining us and spending 4 hours of your day.
It was my pleasure. I just wanted to say I am so glad to see these sorts of tournaments happening and just the amazing the community to improve the game and make it better. I always am watching everything you guys do in a benevolent way, not a creepy way. And I just love to see all these amazing things happening in the community. Even though I'm the game designer, not the community manager, obviously, I really love to see everything that happens. Just all the new ways you're thinking of to make Skyweaver bigger and better than it already is. So it was fantastic to be here with all of you today. And gave me some things to think about. Maybe there's some tuning that can still be done for out of deck stuff, because that was an interesting thing to see towards the end there.
I could be fearful of this could be a renaissance for the
aggro rights,
the Wiz hard decks, because there's no denying the strength of those decks.
Nah, I don't think so. Strength Heart beats it. I just dust all your stuff and then go lol Grave Royal.
I guess maybe the next tournament we'll have to join in and not just be all talk.
Yeah. I think there's some interesting space. Again, similar to how healing was tweaked, maybe make it so that it's not quite so the amount of card generation isn't quite so recurrable towards the end game. So that's some stuff I'll definitely be thinking on a bit.
Oh yeah, Coulter, one thing. Pop quiz. How many foxes were played throughout the course of that tournament?
More than 0, because there was at least 1 in the last game.
There was exactly 3. 4 if you count Run Wild. Coulter, we need more fox cards. Love you. Wait, what?
I have a little more thanks to give out if we can move on from the Fox talk. I would like to say thanks to Ron. He couldn't be here to play today, but he showed me kind of the rigmarole of setting up this stream. It definitely isn't perfect, and I made a lot of mistakes doing this, but I wouldn't have been able to do it at all if he hadn't told me how to do this, because he has an awesome tournament that they do. where they actually pulled it off without a hinge every time. So thanks a lot for that. And yeah, and also I'd like to thank Ashavari for keeping track on the deck strings and making sure that everything is going by the book. And I think that is about it. I want to thank the whole GPG and the whole Fox gang. It was awesome that you'd all be great sports to join in and do this. And lastly, I think we actually need to just quickly go and discuss the weekly challenge follow up from last week's. So this week we had you have to play all units below 5 cost, and not that many players joined in. I don't know if Foxcan just kind of decided they're not going to do it anymore, but
we got better things to do.
Given the track record, I probably wouldn't try anyway. But
Ooh,
yeah,
damn.
without further ado, I'm going to present this week's winner, which goes to Saigo Sayaki with an 80% win rate with his mono Aki deck. I just say this probably wasn't much of a stretch for him, as he's already running that really strong mono Aki deck. I don't even know if he made much change, if he had any cards that he needed to swap out. But anyway, very good stuff. Congratulations. And we need to present next week's challenge. We're kind of getting low on ideas, but we're going to call it the Mothers Challenge. So you have to play two of the 3 mothers in the deck, in the game. So we have Mushroom, we have, go ahead, Bacon.
Mother.
Well, I mean, we put them in for 15. So. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mother Mander, Mother Ethera, and Mushroom. You have to play at least 2 of the 3 in the deck. But that's it. All right. So again, thanks a lot for tuning in. I don't know if you have anything more to add, Bacon.
No, I'm good here.
All right.
Smart.
We're gonna finish up the stream. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. And we're gonna put up the VOD. Is that what you call it? The VOD tomorrow. So if you didn't see it, instead of see all of it, then you can get a second chance to do that. All right. Have a great night, and I'll catch you next Sunday, where Bacon will be streaming on Sky Streamers.
I'll be.
All right.